Good.
What's Rabbit doing?
She's showing off her plants.
That are Bulbasaurs.
And Ivy super. Or this one's Venusaur. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I like the cabbage. That was good. And all the curlicues.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet!
It's okay, they're not used to it. It's totally fine.
Internet, welcome to our special one-off of Friends of Centaurs game, one-shot of the Legacy of the City Rebuilt. Last played over a year ago. The current crew ventured to Santa Carla, not Santa Cruz, but Santa Cruz, and found themselves finding some stake dudes and becoming real cool in the court in the city as a result, and there was much rejoicing. We return once more to the city.
Which one?
The city.
Oh, okay.
San Francisco.
The city by night. And just as a quick reminder, no. Let's
You don't want to give the recap on what happened?
let's start with which recap.
Of Santa Carla. It's been a year. Yeah. You just said we did stuff in Santa Carla.
Oh, you guys don't remember what happened?
It's just
I
basically-
remember
I do.
exactly what happened.
Oh, I remember what happened to you. I don't think much happened to the rest of us though.
So to set the scene, there was a group of new vampires to the court of the city were sent with a chaperone of a high-ranking ghoul of the seneschal of the city to investigate what had happened to the Baron and his sheriff of Santa Carla. When they reached the Baron's house where they had last been heard about, they were ambushed by vampire hunters led by a anarch Ravnos by the name of Maria Zapata,
Right,
who
Maria.
managed to headshot the prized ghoul, which activated a special blood gem that allowed her to be raised as a frenzied vampire at that moment, going hella hog wild. And as Zapata was bleeding out, the Asamite Ivy fell victim to his clan's predilections and diableried her, which he's now...
Is that the proper...
Diableried? I mean,
Diableried. Okay, yeah.
Diableried.
He is now living with the repercussions of that, and there is some argument as to whether or not he should have lost that one dot of humanity.
I feel
personally.
I feel like if you are an Asamite
You're not on trial yet, neither am I,
And-
so...
and you eat another Asamite,
Yes.
you take care of your own. Really.
That is
You're
a
just
very
reabsorbing.
Asamite way to do it, but that's
Sure.
not the road of humanity. That's the Asamite road of, I forget what it's called. I think it's the road of blood. So, it's a thought, something to think about. From there, they found a matchbook that led back to the Carousel Inn next to the boardwalk, where they encountered the Boys, a variant of the titular Lost Boys of 80s fame. And they found the remains of... oh no, you didn't diableried Maria Zapata, you diableried your ex-co-worker who had also been turned.
Who was an Asamite.
Right. They found the ashes of Maria Zapata at the hotel
Yeah, someone got to kill her before I did.
because the Lost Boys went to go check it out and got into a scuffle and managed to take her down after she'd already been thoroughly fucked up. The Lost Boys gave 3 clues as to where the source of the incursion may have been, which led them to the Natural Bridges National Park, where they encountered a La Sombra and Sinisi cell insurgent of Sabat and fought it out in the parking lot of the national park. And once they were dust in the wind, literally, they found a key to a box truck out on the street and found the missing vampires staked and unstaked them, and we're heroes of the day.
Woo!
So, to set the mood for this evening's
Okay.
ridiculousness, I will read you this passage.
Oh gods.
When the lights come on in the city and the fog crawls over the bay, oh, I want to be there in my city. Do you think you're lonely?
I'm not ready.
Well, my friend, I'm lonely too. I want to go back to my city by the bay. It's sad, oh, we've been mourning at Willie's statue out at the park. Repeated several times, loudly, with fervor, even to the point of hoarseness, vete apparent in his mouth from exertion. Last recorded words of Sister Cromwell Pinafore, Malkavian Dolores Park. Blister, staked at the eastern side of the Golden Gate Bridge's northern anchorage in order to meet final death. By His Highness's order, Prince Vannevar Thomas of the Ventured Line, to ensure public health and safety. Now with that little piece of history, if you wish to know more about that, let me know. I can give you reference for where you might have come across that.
I would like to know more.
Thank you, citizen. Service guarantees citizenship. So yeah, some of you may have taken interest in your new adopted home, and there are some records maintained after a good century or so that were not taken by fires in certain places. There was an outbreak. There was an AIDS outbreak in the in the early 80s in the city because of the blowout in that infection. And you know that the term blister is a vulgar argot for a disease-carrying vampire who infects their victims.
Great.
The term what?
Blister.
Argot. What's that term?
Vulgar argot. Oh, that's like the common slang.
Sorry, guys. So,
Hi.
I need to use the bathroom.
Okay.
We need to jump upstairs.
Go for it.
So from the record from the line put out in that, this Sister Cromwell Pinafore seemed to have some sort of communicable disease that he was giving to his prey, and was sentenced to final death as a result. And apparently that was the quote that he repeated constantly while being put to final death.
Okay.
With that cheeriness in mind,
Okay, thank you.
Ivy.
Yep.
Listening?
Yes.
Let's see, you have been spending some time in the city now as your new adopted home.
Yes.
Much less humid than Florida. It's real nice.
So cool.
Even though you don't mind it as much. You've been enjoying the autonomy of living out here in the city. Grigia, who's the scourge, but also sort of the head Assamite in town, doesn't really keep serious tabs on you much. You know, as long as you guys show up. No.
Great.
Yeah. As long as you show up, once every month, as is part of the court, they let you do what you like, and it's pretty nice. You've been taking up odd jobs, putting your particular skills to work,
Yeah.
and you've reestablished yourself real nicely out here.
I like it here.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's definitely. I'm guessing you got the walk up with your name on the door.
No.
The phone never rings.
What? Oh yes. Well, you're in terms of like a private investigator's
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought a really nice coat.
Yes.
That's the first thing I bought.
Does it flutter in the wind when there is no wind?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually-
It's part of celerity.
Yeah, it actually does. He just kicks his leg back really fast, but no one notices.
It's like a really large exhale.
That's it.
Just flashlight on command.
So yeah, you've been living your best on life, and it's been pretty nice. Axel,
Yeah.
you've been bored out of your mind.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You okay,
I
honey?
just really want a piece of paper.
What?
Go over and get to the office. Tell me what's the
So yeah, you've been bored out of your mind. You and Paco have been having long conversations. Actually, how many dots in animalism do you have? You might actually be having conversations.
I didn't add any more extra dots in animalism, so
Okay.
it's
So it's not so bad.
no.
Yeah. Every so often there's like.
I feel like
reports.
he meows and like they're like the cats do the things they do where different ranges of meows mean different things. But yeah. Alright.
Every so often ever so often Jaws and Betty.
Sure, we'll go
The
with that.
deputy? What's a Betty? Who's Betty?
Part of a gang.
Yeah, she has two gang members she runs with.
Sick.
And every so often you guys go out and sort of like break up some sort of ring or this sort of thing, but like the second you flash the teeth, even the hardest vatos just fucking shit themselves, and you know you're
No fun anymore.
It's really hard to get a challenge. Once you heard there was some actual werewolves that had rolled into the edge of Berkeley, moving into Oakland, and you guys were sent out to help back people up, but what's his name? Fang?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's Fang.
Ooh, which? What's he do?
Lisa, do you remember who Harry Dick's second in command was?
Oh.
Rabbit.
Richard
She's not
Harrison's Richard Harrison's second in command. But yeah, so the Baron of Oakland is Richard Harrison, and he has a gangrel. Yeah, it's a gangrel.
It's like on my nose right
Nosferatu.
I'm a horrible human.
Gangrel and Nosferatu, who's his deputy out there, and anything short of a proper war band coming into Oakland ain't gonna mess with them at all. So you guys got out there a little late for any of the actual fun, which was really disappointing. So you guys drove over the hill into Livermore and vandalized some shit and then ran back before the sun caught you. But otherwise, yeah, it's just you've been getting restless. You've been feeling the tug of the beast, and you may have been drinking heavier from your prey than normal. But other than that, just bored.
Okay.
Tabitha,
Yes.
you definitely know what you've been up to.
Yeah.
Surveillance / redheaded stepchild of the Amaris Empire.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a fall from grace.
What's Thomas's take on all this? What does he think? Thomas is a Samisi clerk
Yes.
with a penchant for smoking that his mistress cannot abide.
No.
Do you get him smokes? Just to piss her off.
Totally. No, she would never piss off a modest person.
Oh.
But she doesn't rat him out anymore.
Mm.
She would never piss off Mars. I'm sure Thomas is just sort of like, oh, now you're my level now.
He's not bloodbound.
He is bloodbound
He
with
is bloodbound.
Mars.
All right,
So yeah.
yeah.
But now she's been kicked down a peg because she's no longer alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do your best because that's your job and that's your life, and
Yeah.
you know.
And even though I'm conflicted now, I still have to make sure the mistress gets what she needs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been my life for 20 years.
See how long that lasts.
Yeah.
And Melora, you've been basically living like a student's life the last couple of months. You've been accepted into the house.
Ravenclaw.
Hey.
Into the local.
Hey!
For everyone who can't see because the camera's not on her, Amanda is wearing
Chantry.
a Ravenclaw shirt.
You've been accepted into the chantry of the bay, and you've started meeting the decently sized Tremere community here. You've been set up with your own apartment haven, and you've started learning some of the easier places for someone more studious to feed and get away with it. There's a lot of colleges to just go pick and choose. And yeah, you've been learning some new spell work, and it's been pretty neat. There's a lot more concentration on learning and developing out here, whereas back in London, there was a very sturdy old guard, very dusty, where it's like, well, if you don't get it right away, maybe you shouldn't be here. Where it's like, out here they're like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is how it works, and like, we're kind of working with some of these. Do you get
We
it?
understand you have dyslexia.
You know, that sort of thing.
People learn different.
Is there anything you would be focusing on particularly, or where'd you spend those points in?
Most of them went to making thaumaturgy better, so I made fire better.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you've been working on your Prodigy soundtrack, your Prodigy music a little better, and so that's fun. Yeah, the house music is much different out here. It's neat and interesting. And Anjani, you have found that you can run rackets pretty rampantly, so long as it's with mortals. So you've been scratching that itch pretty well, because you can run over most of the bay. But I think similar to Axel, it's been getting a little boring. Because for so long you were under your sire, and that was a beautiful, wonderful thing. But it was always those were always sort of his ideas and his schemes. And ever since he abandoned you, you were like, "It's my time to shine, baby." But it's all been a little shallow.
It's just a flicker.
Yeah. So you're observing the laws of the court, which don't extend to humans too terribly much. So that's been good. And you're deciding whether or not to maybe try a different city now that you've learned more about the Canine culture. But you've got rackets established here, so you're kind of torn between bailing and starting somewhere new where you might be able to get away with more, or if you should keep building your power base here and then branch out after that. Make sense?
Yeah.
I have a really cool coat. Making a note.
So, it's that time of the month again. Court.
Court time.
Save that story for afterwards.
As is the custom, all Canaanites of the city pile into the courtroom in the Superior Court, and the various heads of the court present themselves. You have Iria, who is the prince, a part Japanese descendant Ventru. You have Amars, who is of course her seneschal, who is a Setite. There is the maestro Vin, who is the operating sheriff, and of course his left hand Grigia and his right hand Jaws. Grigia, of course, the other Assamite in town, and Jaws is Axel's sire, a Bruja, who cracks heads and only barely pauses on occasion. This evening, court is a little interesting, as there's a swarthy, lanky gentleman with a saccharine accent, who is
Sugary?
who appears to be sort of a guest of honor. Like there's a little bit of a flutter. You haven't heard about this arrival.
Who are you pointing to?
Me.
Tabitha.
Oh.
And actually, yeah, Tabby, make me a perception plus alertness roll. Difficulty 7.
Never heard of saccharine used in such a word.
Oh,
Wait.
I'm glad to assist. You hear him say to Amaris, "Thanks, putting me up."
Tabitha twitches a little bit, but sits
Yeah.
a little taller,
Yeah.
and just
And it's a southern accent.
Oh, it is
Oh,
a southern
yeah.
accent.
yes,
Um,
that's the same thing.
And then yeah, drippy, I would even say.
Thick.
And so, yeah, a little bit. So the regular business of court is enacted they announce area, and they acknowledge the barons who are remoting in. All good there.
Fun to remote in.
There may or may not be a chuckle of thought where like, wow, what'll happen if we ever get a La Sombra? And then Area goes, we would also like to present to the court Roger Hensby, an individual of distinction. He is the Archon, or he is an Archon. Those of you who may not know, your character definitely knows. Archons are the closest thing to boogeyman cops that the Camarilla has, because they answer to the Justicar, who is basically judge, jury, and executioner of the Council of the Council of 9.
Sounds like a real sheriff's sheriff.
Yes.
The Council of 9 are, of course, the heads of each clan who run the Camarilla, and each of them chooses a Justicar to enact their will, and then the Justicars hire a handful of Archons to do their work as well.
Like this man.
Same.
He is,
What an interesting predicament to be put up by a Setite, because I'm sure there's no Setite in the Council of 9.
No, there is not.
Yeah. Interesting.
So he stands up and gives a bow and goes to tip a hat that isn't on currently, he says something to the effect of, it's a pleasure to be in your city. Thank you so much. And there's polite clapping. It's very yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Pretty lackluster from Tabby, though.
If you had been chatting at all earlier in the evening, you might have also heard the Florida
Yeah.
twang a bit, and might give you a little toothy grin flash. Does anyone want to know more about Roger Hemsby? Perhaps?
Sure.
Go ahead and make a int plus occult or int plus kindred lore.
I was gonna ask, like, would we have heard about this person?
Potentially.
Is that vampire lore?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Int plus occult?
Vampire.
Or vampire lore
I
or
have
kindred lore.
vampire lore from being
What?
a ghoul.
Do I have that?
So I would just
You would have a
So I
cult,
would just
you
do a
wouldn't
cult
have-
then.
I would
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Intelligence
which
plus?
rolls
Yes,
are
I roll
yours,
3.
and I have
Mhm.
dots.
Difficulty 7.
Okay.
That's
I
hard
have
to get because I don't have.
a-
Oh, I have a 7.
You also had a 1.
I have intelligence specialty and vampire lore specialty, but that's Setite, so that doesn't count.
What's the implicit intelligence specialty?
Queer thinking.
Okay.
I
7?
got a 1. Success. I got 1 success.
Is a 1 a failure or a 0 a failure?
0 is a 10.
Yeah,
And
so
you-
one,
we're
so
in.
one's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
failure.
yeah.
So that
yeah.
cancels that one out. You're
So-
like,
And do we have to re-roll 10s?
He's
you
handsome.
can
Yes.
reroll 10s, yes, to get
To get
additional points,
Because I have 3 successes if I have a 10, but I can.
and then reroll the 10 to
Yeah.
see if you can get more.
Make more 10s.
Yeah, make more 10s.
Oh, it's another 10.
Make
You
more
make
10s.
more 10s.
You're wasting all your good rolls, Lynn!
I know.
More.
That one's a 7, but that's
So
still a success.
that counts, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
how
how
many
many is that?
successes total was that?
Okay, so that was 2 10s in a row and a 7, so that's 3. And then I got 2 9s, so that's 5 successes.
Okay.
Lynn knows all
hold
the
up,
things!
Hold up 5 so I can go down the
Yeah,
line here.
this is how we do this.
What'd you get, Rabbit?
1.
Okay. So you with the 1, you're like, oh, I think someone by that name told me to watch it or something. That sounds about right.
Watch it?
Yeah.
Watch him?
Watch it. Just
Watch,
like
just
hey,
watch.
you
Oh,
watch
just watch
it.
it.
yeah,
Just so you
you're
watch
like
it. Okay.
maybe somewhere with your sire. Like actually that tracks. Okay. You
I also got the 1.
you knew he was coming in because Jaws told you.
Okay.
You're like, oh right.
Right,
Right.
that's a thing.
Both 5s?
Yeah.
Excellent. So yes, Tabitha, you know who he is right away, as Amaris had a file on the Nosferatu Justicar, who used to run with Mr. Hemsby in New Orleans. They were part of a coterie themselves, which makes sense why once the Nosferatu Justicar became a Justicar, he would tap people who are close to him, such as Mr. Hemsby, to serve. You know that Hemsby is a Malkavian. And you with the 5, you, Melora, you've met Mr. Hemsby back in London during your initiation. He was there with a Nosferatu gentleman who, frankly, spooked you. And Hemsby was much more polite, but you always had this sense that he knew what you were thinking.
Oh, that's fun.
You've met other Malkavians, and that seems on brand.
They fucked up, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, they were out there in London doing a job assisting with a different Archon's work that you weren't particularly involved in as a new vampire, but you were introduced at some point.
This will be my long-term goal. Become an Archon.
This is your new goal?
Yes.
Your new goal
It
in
is.
a dead life?
It's kind of like up to a certain point you can't become whatever's the next step because you don't meet the requirements, but our Archon is attainable.
There you go. Believe in your dreams.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it, you guys. I have a good
I
feeling about
believe
this.
in you.
You weren't born in this country, so you can't be the president, but you can be the vice president.
Yeah. So Iria,
Kill the president.
after the clap, after the like 3 loud claps, Iria clarifies. She's like, Mr. Hemsby has informed me that he is not in fact here on business, so
Oh.
you may rest easy in that regard. He is here for pleasure. And there's a big shitty grin on Mr. Hemsby. And so, as such, we welcome him on his leisure trip, as the rest of you should as well.
That explains why he's hanging out at Mars.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I mean, everyone hangs out at Mars's.
Yeah. So,
She's a who,
She's a madam for a brothel.
Oh.
Yeah, she was awesome.
A very high-class brothel.
you've actually been there a couple times, chasing down
Inflatio. Yep.
Fidelity.
Infidels.
Fatal Attraction. Yes. Yes.
Unfaithful people?
Yes. Wives who are
Sure.
worried about their husbands. You're like, yeah, they went
Sure.
there.
Okay.
That's also why they don't have any money anymore.
Are these preternatural, madam, like, people?
Yes and
ladies?
no. They
Okay.
serve all tastes.
Got it, alright.
A little bit of
Okay.
everything.
That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
I'm making it note.
So, having that moved on, it's like it wraps up real quick.
Oh.
And rumor has it that there's going to be refreshments served at the Starlight, as there'll be a special Elysium this evening in honor of Mr. Hemsby's visit.
It's in Louisiana,
That's basically the neutral ground hangout
okay.
of the area.
Which is at a Mars's?
No, at the Starlight.
No.
which
Oh, at the
is-
Starlight,
Yeah.
which
right.
is-
This is where the
Where was this from?
this is where Ben hangs out with the rollerblades and the roller skates and.
Oh, right!
Yes, there you go.
It's the roller rink.
It's Ben's
yes,
place.
this is Ben's place.
It's the roller rink, okay.
Yeah,
Refreshments at Starlight.
This is the Church of Eight Wheels.
Yes.
it is indeed.
Yes.
It is a holy place.
I see.
Dancing
Alright,
Queen is a
alright.
holy song.
Yeah, he's the one that dresses like in the 70s still, right?
He has a
Yeah.
pants. He is a leisure suit. He is a leisure
He
suit.
is.
So,
Oh, Ben.
as that seems to be the tenor of the evening, and there is a little coercion and expectation to meet there. You guys also make your way over to Ben's place, and of course, in glorious neon letters, it says "Surlit." The T and the A and the I and the G and the H are out again.
Mars just fixed that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. And she's probably gonna do it again.
Obviously, Thea isn't keeping up her end of the job.
When you walk in, it's the familiar, terrifying yellows and browns and oranges of 70s golden age. And of course, doing circle eights at the edge of the rink, you see Ben in all his glory in a maroon leisure suit with a velvet belt, and the mustache that does not quit.
Okay.
The mustache itself has a blood pool. He welcomes you into his home and says says, yes, please drink, skate, and be merry. And
Just noticed you should sit here.
there's
You
a
want to be on there.
thank you.
There he is.
There is a general mingling
There is a DM.
in various parts of
Just
the.
hands moving.
Thank you. There is a mingling in various areas of the.
Now you're ready.
In various parts of the roller rink. Surprisingly, a few people out there doing their thing, getting their
Rolling those blades.
getting their wheels on. But the entirety of the city society is pretty much present. Anyone who's not from farther afield. Is there anyone you want to check in on? Have questions to ask? That sort of thing?
Am I currently working on any cases or leads that would be in this general area?
No, you're waiting for a new phone call currently.
Oh,
You're
Perfect.
waiting on a little more.
this is like I'm just like on a vacation now. Then
You're on a
it's like a
vacation?
staycation, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because you haven't left.
Yeah. Well, I gotta wait for the phone to ring.
Ah.
You see.
Mm-hmm.
Axel goes up to Jaws and is like, so what's up with this dude here? We're gonna hang out with him? We're
Oh, I forgot that Axel was Louis Guzman.
gonna get my stuff.
She does a sucking in sound, which you know used to be, or Betty has now explained used to be the thing she would do when she would spit.
Okay.
And she's sort of like, I don't think we should talk about it here. And her like eyes just dart to where he is.
Oh.
She's like, let's go for a smoke.
Okay.
And she takes you outside, and she's like, you can't say shit around him, like in the same room. It's weird.
But what do you
Can't.
what do you mean? Like what kind of shit? Like we
Either-
shouldn't be talking about, business, or like, I can't talk about like what
Any-
we do on the side, or what do
Yeah,
you mean?
anything you wouldn't say to his face.
But like, he's kind of cool, man. And, we want to be a part of this thing because he does badass shit.
She makes the noise again,
Okay, fine.
and she's like, it's all fucking. It's like a gang that doesn't have a leader. Like it's just all fucking infighting. Like they keep fucking. It's all no. It's. I don't want to mess with that.
I can't. I suppose you're right. I can't. It's so boring.
I mean, if you want to mess with that, no, you can't mess with that because then it comes back to me.
If you want to mess with it, don't.
Don't. If you want to mess with it, don't. Don't. Fine.
And if he tells you to do anything,
Yeah.
tell me first.
Okay.
Because if you do a thing and it fucks it up, it comes back to me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
You know?
I know.
All right. She makes the noise again. That's 3. You really get 1 a week. Like this. That's 3 of these.
Oh.
And she's like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go fuck something. And she storms back inside.
What?
She like trailing after her.
Trying to unpack that.
She goes right for this like slab of meat. That is a young man in a corner making fun of people skating.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, she's gonna break that poor boy. Oh, okay. Hope he doesn't have school tomorrow.
So I have hips tomorrow.
So that's what's going on. Anyone else? Rabbit? No?
Nope.
Have I interacted? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Qua?
I thought someone was going to say a thing.
Oh, I will say a thing since no one else is going to say
What's
something.
up?
So Tabby actually sidles up to Ben and sits on the edge of the ring, but she is not skating.
Oh, you catch his eye from across the rink?
Yeah,
And sort of hip up onto the
yeah.
railing?
So I'm sitting on the railing.
And he does a smooth backwards skate. and you're actually kind of impressed that he just wheels straight into it. He's like, yes.
Good evening, Ben.
Good evening, Tabitha.
Have you noticed anyone new in town?
He's like blatantly looking at him, so he's like,
Other than
oh.
I'm aware of his arrival.
You know,
now.
some people are a little more observant than others.
Yes.
You know, I was just making sure. He's like sort of bopping along. He's like, no, just a man of honor over there.
Yes.
Just the man of the hour.
Yes, honor. Okay. Has the mistress been in?
Here?
Yes.
No, she hates it here.
I know.
He's a little sad about that.
This is a happy one.
Oh, you know how she loves happiness.
He's like, sure. He remember, yeah, like he's been feeling out this new relationship because
Yeah.
there's always been a paradigm shift with you. So he's like, so that's why instead of being like, oh yeah, he's like, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you see anything weird, other than him,
He's because he starts pointing. He's like,
Yeah,
right,
yes.
right, yeah.
just let me know personally. Like,
I mean,
not with Yusuf,
I
but
mean,
just me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, yeah. All right.
Invite me for a skate
Right now?
when you have something for me.
Oh. Well, I'll get right on that. Like the hips don't lie. He's shaking and doing the finger guns.
Yep.
And he's back in the crowd.
And then over the railing.
Have I interacted with Grigia much over this like a month period? Because I was new in court.
As much as anyone else. Like the only people who have interacted
like-
with her more are the lead of the court because they all seem to have done a lot of work together.
Sure.
So yeah, you have
It's
had
like watching
interactions
someone
with her.
who went
Like
through like a weird breakup.
she actually told you at one point that you
She's
had
just
to
gotta
meet
learn to
and
deal
hang
with
out
it.
for an hour
Yeah.
because someone told her she had to do that with you.
Mm-hmm.
So like you guys went to like a movie.
Yeah.
So that you didn't need to actually talk.
Great.
What'd you guys
Great.
see?
What year
It was,
is this?
well, you know.
Is it now? Is
You,
this
oh no,
coming
you saw another. You saw a Batman reboot.
A Batman reboot?
Yeah, and
Okay.
she thought it paled in comparison to the Michael
Keaton.
Keaton
Oh.
Batman. And like she voiced this opinion loudly on the way out,
Huh.
vehemently.
Well, it's better than the nipple one, I suppose. That's true.
And she was like, "What nipple one? What are you talking about?"
Didn't one of them have a nipple suit?
Yeah, you have to explain this to her, and she is affronted.
Oh,
She
I'm
is
sorry.
Thoroughly upset. By
I tried
this.
to explain to her who George Clooney is and like why it was a big deal at the time. It seems to not be going well, so I will bail.
Yeah.
So, there were nipple involved. It's something that we don't really think about. or
She
talk
tells
about
it
very much.
Piotr to shut up once or twice. It's weird.
I thought Piotr, I thought we got rid of Piotr.
No, we got rid of bad Pewter.
Oh, okay.
But there's
Okay.
She
real
seems to have
Pewter now.
A thing too.
Yeah. So you're wondering maybe she's also tasted the forbidden fruit.
Yeah, I'll
So-
wait. If I catch it and she happens to be looking my way, I'll kind of wink at her if I do. It's like less of a wink and it's more of like a like an eyebrow thing.
Yeah, that makes her uncomfortable, but she doesn't actually say anything.
Great.
It's pretty remarkable.
Perfect.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go hang out with my van for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, do you have her pick you up, or do you guys meet at the theater?
I'm more of like a meet in the theater place, but
Okay, yeah, no,
maybe we
yeah.
pull up at the same time.
No, yeah, I mean, she gets into her illegally parked,
She has a
full
handicap
van.
sticker on?
No, it's just illegally parked, like she didn't give a shit.
Like in the bushes.
Yeah, like on the
The
fucking
curb.
sidewalk,
Mm.
yeah. In the bike lane, but also on the sidewalk, because why not? And yeah, it's got sick fucking airbrush all up on it. And there are some interesting steel boltings into the sides of it. And you actually recognize right away that those are anchor points for large caliber weaponry. So like,
I'll admire it.
also,
you
it
know?
looks like it's 2 steps away from being a Mad Max van,
Mhm.
and like that tracks. You've heard some legends about Vanya, the van.
Vanya the van.
Yeah,
Wow. There's a lot of Russians in this person's background.
You have no idea.
she was Ukrainian.
Sorry, Eastern Europeans in this person's background.
Yeah. So yeah.
Continuing to assume her Sovietness. It was all one place for a really long time.
No,
You
and
understand?
that's why a lot of her references are fairly dated. So it all makes sense. Cool. So that's
All right, cool.
You have just as much of an idea of who Krigia is as pretty much anyone else in court at this point.
Got it. And just so that I, in my own mind, the person that I ate was Rochelle.
Oh yeah, Rochelle's still in
Rochelle. Okay. Cool.
there. She's worked her way up to 3-word responses.
She's not just screaming at me whenever she gains consciousness.
It happens on occasion. You've had some long nights of tears, but not you. Just you hear the whimpering.
Yeah.
But
that's annoying. That's gotta stop.
but you've actually managed to. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. You have no idea how to get it to stop.
Yeah. I mean, conversation. It's like therapy, really. I feel.
Yeah, and you think some real good progress has been made.
Awesome.
Yeah.
3-word sentences.
Yeah.
Please no, don't.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
At least basic communication has happened. It's been an enlightening experience.
The screaming has stopped.
Yeah.
You have to see what happens when you eat something.
You have been like a little more in touch with your feminine side. Oddly.
Like putting toilet seats down more often.
You've been actually, and you.
I went to Bath and Body Works and bought a candle.
That's exactly You've been concerned with moisturizing
Yeah.
as part of your facade of
Never thought I would be,
of
but
being a human.
here we are.
Of to better interact with your clients. Like these are things you've never really considered
A
before.
lot of steam rooms.
Yeah.
Try to exfoliate
There you go.
dead skin.
So as you guys sort of do the great, yeah, we're all here at this party sort of thing, you notice you've all sort of drifted towards the back right corner where there's a little more quiet, calm.
Am I in the cornerest part of the corner?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Laura?
Are you there with a croquette and a polar bear?
What?
Croquette.
Sweet togarashi. They hide in corners.
Oh, I was like,
Sorry.
what?
I don't know what that is.
It's Japanese.
Yeah.
That,
That's all
yep,
you need to know.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's all
So
you
on
need to know.
Johnny, you're in that back corner talking with with one of the maestro's henchmen, comparing scars from various jobs gone wrong. Because you found out that he also had a life of poor choices before coming under the maestro's wing. Around the same time that Melora, you and 2 other Tremere, who are huge fucking nerds, and have no social graces, have all communally learned that you can stand near each other and not annoy each other.
So it's better if they don't talk.
Tell me if I'm veering anywhere from what makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Okay. The friend whom she's comparing scars with is a little tasty. He's
Oh.
you keep
Has he got that
glancing
kind of
over.
Viking look to him?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the full.
Oh no, that's what she's into.
Yeah.
She sounds thrilled.
And he laughs a little loud. It's
Oh, so he's a little annoying.
yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
My weakness.
Yeah. She loves an obnoxious Viking.
So of the triumvirate of antisocials, you've pivoted to the edge closest, and he's showing off a very low scar right now. It's right next to a nice thick vein.
Alright.
And meanwhile, you notice Yusuf, Tabitha, has sort of ducked into one of the booths on the side and seems to be leaned much farther back than is necessary to be engaged in whatever conversation is happening. So you slide up into this general area as well. Jaws, or Axel.
Yes. He's like wrong person, but yes.
Yeah, Axel. You see Grigia.
Oh, Grigia?
Yeah, you see
Okay.
Grigia leaned up against one of the support posts next to the back room,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a new knife that you've actually been looking to either steal or buy.
Okay.
From her or in general?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Huh.
you might wander over and ask and start asking her about
Yeah.
where that was procured from, that
Oh
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And you, Ivy, have also just chatted with Grigia in the briefest moment as Axel slides up. A ridiculous man that you all know well, in a top hat
Aww.
and with a monocle and a cane and a handlebar mustache, long tail coat, comes sliding up, and he's like, "Wunderbar! Hello, everyone."
Oliver.
And he's like,
Bert.
"Ah,
Mm-hmm.
Fräulein Axel, you are looking very aggressive this evening."
You always say the nicest things, Bert.
And he's like, "Nice coat.
Thank you.
Did you get that over there down on Market, or was that over in the Mission?"
I'm gonna. Yes, it was near the haberdashery.
Are you making fun of me?
And he's like, "There's no haberdashery. These are those places. Where would that be?" "What do you mean?"
It's a place that makes hats, man. It's like a hat place.
"I know. There's only one over on Height."
That's near the market area, right? I don't know. I'm new here. I did a search for cool coats, man. This came up.
And he sort of turns himself to like, "This is my circle now." Like, just puts out that energy. And the rest of you are sort of caught in the radius. And
Tabitha greets him as she would have in the past,
yeah,
with full reverence.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, Tabitha, so good. When are you going to come work for me?"
I don't think there's room for me to work with you.
"Haha, we'll make room." "Okay." So, it's like, "Just don't tell your ex-mistress, or current mistress, whatever. I don't know. I don't keep track."
Sorry, I can't whisper. I don't know either.
And so, as he's sort of like, "I don't mind missing the Lapis this evening, but it's still, sometimes I don't like the refreshments they have out for this. It's all very, it's so spooky, I miss a good old,
What was that?
the mic kick looped weirdly.
Oh, okay.
And as he's sort of like starting to wheel into his shtick, Hemsby slides over from a satellite circle, and he's like, Gundram von Eckerbert, the third of the Viennese Eckerbert, sorcerer in the Order of Hermes. Bert looks like someone just tap danced on his grave.
I look at him like,
Yeah,
Egerbert.
That's like a really
Use his
long
whole name.
though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Perception plus alertness, difficulty 8.
Everybody?
Everyone who cares.
Perception plus alertness?
Yes. Difficulty 8.
Oh, I get it. This.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
So the one of the 8 counts are off. Go ahead and reroll that 10, so you're good with 1 so far, 2.
that's it.
And then any specialties in those?
Perception. Yeah, insightful. I'm insightful.
I'm gonna go
What was the
I'm gonna go
difficulty?
8.
Alright, so that was 1, but these ones are canceled
Did
out.
you get any rabbit?
2.
2. I know this this would make sense for you.
Oh, 2, but I have noises and alertness.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what you're gonna do, so I'm just
No, that's
telling
okay.
you.
Noises.
So Ivy,
My
you get the general sense that Bert might swing on this guy.
Ivy. Who's?
You, yeah, 2s, you notice a hand drifting. You notice Bert turn slowly towards Hemsby with the cane still positioned in front of himself, just gently.
Does anything make a noise?
But you see the hand, not yet.
Okay.
But you notice the hand has dropped into the coat.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to take a step backwards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like not to step back, just put evenly distribute my weight.
Oh,
Can I
sure.
activate celerity?
Sure, spend a blood point. And now you are faster.
At listening.
Anjani, with your 2, you also notice the slow turn, but the hand drift. And then with 3, Malora, you...
Too weirded out by the situation.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't
With
understand.
the 3 Tabitha,
Everything's weird and I hate things.
he's got his hand on his axe. There's a hand on an axe.
Yeah.
This is because you know what's back there.
Tabitha actually takes like a swing back, like, oh, hello. Gonna clear that space.
The guy who was showing off his scars gets crazy quiet. Oh no, just kidding.
Yep.
He wouldn't know that. Never mind. He doesn't know what's going on. I was thinking of someone else.
Okay.
And so Bert turns slowly to Hemsby and he goes, Hemsby, how good of you to be here. May I assist you with something? And Hemsby goes, oh, please, Bert, call me Roger. After all we've been through together. And
I feel like Axel just wants to be like, for pleasure! For pleasure.
so
Those are famous last words.
your eyebrow is working overtime at Bert to try and communicate for pleasure.
Those like Sharpies are things are moving
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hard.
And with the celerity, it looks real dope. All of
Just
that
like-
is
You just have like the fastest eyebrow waggle in the history of man.
Yeah.
You can definitely see there's some Morse code happening here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But yeah, Bert's face is sheet white and he's like, well, Roger, if there's nothing else at this time, I will be going. And Hemsby's like, all right, toodles. But in a southern accent that I forgot about.
Toodles.
Yeah,
Toodles? That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
Yeah.
Toodles.
toodles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Toodles.
Toodles. And so Bert's like, good evening. And he sort of like scoots off, sort of in the way
Bye, Bert.
that you see the mustache sort of kick up at that. He backs away sort of in the same way you might see a mountain lion back away from a bear, or vice versa. just sort of that mutual respect of predators, that this is not going to escalate unless the other one escalates, so they're just going to go on their way so that they reserve energy. So that's spooky. A couple of the other people in the area suddenly, or have already vacated just because of the tingle of energy at that. One of your friends is nowhere to be seen.
One of the nerds ditched.
Yeah, one of the nerds was out. On Johnny, your friend is like, oh, I gotta go.
I think I left the gas on.
Is that a hot one?
Yeah.
Aw, beans.
Oh, beans.
Yusuf is also like slinked away.
Yeah, well, he's smart.
So it's mostly just you guys left now because Grigia actually went to go catch up with Bert.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
And
Right.
who are you saying this to?
Just in general.
Wait, is Hemsby still
Yeah,
there?
Hemsby's still here.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was weird.
Do you say that in front of him?
Did you say that was weird or did you say that was fucked up? Because I feel like those could be interpreted differently.
Oh. Yeah, that was fucked up.
Hemsby goes, how so?
I don't know. Bert's usually so cheery.
Oh, yes, I guess he ate something that disagreed with him.
I like it.
Knowing face, shut up face.
Yeah.
Axel's just sort of like, I don't get it.
He leans in, he goes, speaking of which.
Ah!
Rabbit! Oh.
That's Russian.
Because it's backwards?
Yeah.
Is it actually forward? 'Cause
No,
I-
No, it's totally backwards.
No, that's the way they spell it on the clubhouse.
It shows it back. It shows it forwards in my view.
Bird.
No.
Nice
Art.
knees.
Ow!
I see your toes.
Are you still wearing those fucked up slippers?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, so I give Hensby like a fake like.
Axel just sort of looks at you guys like you're crazy.
He leans in, he goes, just some food for thought. Should you want to make he says, there was a shipment at Pier 38 that you may wish to investigate. Seems there might be something your prince would want to know about, but will likely be gone in a few nights. So, just thought I'd float that along.
Can I sense motive this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Holy fuck.
I look at him and go, so like, you're not gonna tell the prince, because like, you're here for pleasure, not for reason.
That's wits plus subterfuge, or wits plus empathy to figure out if he's full of shit or not. And so you're not going to tell the prince, and he's like, absolutely. It's not my jurisdiction. Technically my problem.
I would like to find out why.
Why?
Difficulty?
Why are
7.
you telling us about this?
Did,
2. He
does it seem like it? Sorry.
he sort of Cheshire grins at you, and he's
I
like,
move back.
it
I
gets
just look at
slightly
you and I'm
wider.
like,
Axel tries to mimic it back.
I'm so sorry.
Tabitha steps in front of
I'll be over
Laura
here. I'll be over
and
here.
just
Yeah, the other one's been gone. Like, you're like, I don't know when they both left. No one
Fucking
saw
Neds,
them
they both left
So
me.
he makes a grin, and then Axel does it back. She's like, I can do that too. Like, look.
can I sense whether or not this is like does he sound credible when he's saying this?
So that's going to be a perception plus
Awesome.
investigation.
Like, am I walking into a trap or whatever?
A wits plus a
Oh
Speak
wait.
loudly so I can hear you
wits
through the
plus
door.
subterfuge.
you made me wits empathy.
Yeah.
Mine's different. I'm trying to figure out if
But I'd
I'm
be
about
better
to.
with subterfuge.
Final subterfuge.
I don't know what my DC is, but I got a 10 and a 6 and a
Alright,
7.
well, still 2.
Reroll the 10.
And a 7.
Okay.
2 for both.
He's honest. He's being upfront about this. He does answer you through Tabitha. He goes,
Yeah.
I was just offering it to whomever was here, but people don't like to hang around me for very long, it seems. That's
Can't
unfortunate.
imagine that.
It's the hat.
Pleasant individual. I wouldn't imagine why anyone
must be
would
the
find
hat.
you strange or anything.
He's not wearing a hat.
You're
I thought he
just.
wasn't wearing a
Well,
hat.
he tipped a hat that wasn't there. Like
Oh.
he pretended.
It is the hat.
Oh,
And
fuck.
he was like, perhaps it is. Thank you
Yeah.
for pointing that out, Ivy.
Like I said, Tabitha did move in front of
Yeah.
Laura.
Yeah, so he basically says it through your
me.
face.
Yeah, and she goes, "It might be because you're just so familiar with everyone."
Well, I thought we were all real friendly out here, but it appears that there's some more easterly affectations than I'd anticipated.
I'll say. What, could you tell me, what are you here doing for pleasure? What is pleasurable to you?
Just taking my mind off of some of my various tasks and duties, as I was told to go ahead and take some R&R after a previous engagement.
I can appreciate that.
Just trying to not twitch.
You okay?
Oh, I'm lovely.
But yes, as far as you know, honest, and potentially something dangerous, but as far as you can tell, he's telling the truth.
Is the mistress aware of this?
Not that you're aware. Or you ask him this?
Yes.
He's like, well, I know she isn't here.
And this is something that just bloomed.
Well, I can't give too much information now, can I?
Of course.
That might be work. And I'm not here to do any of that.
Lovely.
How about recreationally?
There was a little too much recreation recently. I've been told to keep my head down. So don't worry about me. You go on and have all the fun. I can see that my social graces have worn off by now, so good evening. And he sort of turns off and heads back to another group to assail them instead.
Do you guys want to go look at the boats?
So like I'm supposed to tell, my sire before I go do any of the shit this guy's talking about, because otherwise I get in trouble. I don't know.
Are you like on house arrest?
No, it's not like house arrest.
It's like a work study.
Got to
Wits
like
plus-
check in with your parole officer.
Wits plus subterfuge.
For me?
Axel, yeah.
I think it's
5.
more of a sorority.
Or streetwise, or larceny,
Not familiar, sir.
or law.
They're not fun.
Streetwise is my highest.
Sure.
So wits plus
It's a
streetwise.
sisterhood.
She like my bitch. She look out for me. She look out for me. She like ride or die. You can't just be like, oh, fuck you. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not good.
I don't understand the
God,
words of
and
them.
these dice. I'm gonna
It's
switch
nice
to
to
yes
have
dice.
I'm sorry, they're not meant for you. They're meant for Setites.
What was this? What was it?
6.
6. What do I have if I have 2 1s and a 10?
Then you reroll the 10 and hope you get something better.
Yeah, 6.
I got another 1.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Why is this so awful?
Roll yes dice.
Oh, mine are
You're,
good.
you're making mine unlucky.
Yeah, you need to.
I'm
Yeah.
not making them unlucky. They are unlucky.
Feel free to roll mine. I don't believe in that.
You have a serious urge to
You
go
don't?
with the biggest snitch right
I have a dice trash can.
It's
That's
gross.
where the bad dice go to be punished. and
That's how
they
you
behave.
spend all your money on dice.
Does anyone want to help Axel with her conundrum?
I do that.
What was her conundrum?
That
Well,
she's
I
trying
gotta,
to
I
tell
gotta go.
Jaws.
I gotta go tell Jaws what's going
So
on.
streetwise and what?
Can you like text him or something?
So
yes.
wits plus. Well, actually, if you're helping convince her, that would be manipulation or charisma plus empathy, expression, streetwise, survival, or law.
Okay, charisma plus expression.
Difficulty
Expression.
6.
Thank you.
Three.
I was a 10.
He didn't tell her to do anything.
He didn't tell you to do anything. He just said there was something happening over there. As it were.
Oh yeah, but like I'm totally going. Do you guys want to go?
Axel sort of contemplating.
That does kick into that role I was trying to have you make. They're like, you know, technically,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
she don't know.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say no nothing.
That's
He
true.
was just like, he farting in the wind, and you're like, okay, I guess I could do, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
It
not
might
to say
make
that
me
I
look better.
don't want to go. I'll do it, but I just want to put that out there. I do not want to.
We're happy for your support.
That's okay. You don't have to.
Oh, really?
No, she
No, you
doesn't.
don't.
It's okay.
No, I'm going to go.
No.
I just want you all to know I don't want to.
I got something for you. Don't
You've
worry.
got something for me. Well, then I will hold down the base here.
Convenient.
Oh, how convenient. A plot point if I stay behind.
Yeah. So, you three have sort of.
Wait, do we assume Rabbit's coming with us or not?
I gotta figure out what she wants to do when she gets back. It's
Oh.
fine.
Yeah, Lisa will text her.
I mean, I guess I can always just be like, they left. I'm just kidding. Hi, it's just me here with my cocktail glass. How you been?
Well,
She says yes, she's coming too.
Okay.
all right.
We're already in.
So it is already late into the night.
Like 1 a.m.,
Good
2
morning.
a.m., 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Ooh.
It's not enough time to go investigate a thing. He did say the next few days, or gone in a few nights. So you have a little bit of time.
Okay.
I go to the restroom and I check if there's anyone in it.
Yes, there is someone puking into one of the sinks.
Nice.
With barefoot with the with the skates thrown into a corner.
Ah, jeez.
You recall earlier you saw this person doing spins and
Human.
yes, and it did not go well.
You put on
Tabitha
skates without
turns on
socks
her
on.
dread
That's
gaze
so gross.
and goes, "You don't want to be here."
And she goes, "Oh, wanna?" and weaves out the door. And then there's someone else. You see another pair of feet under a stall, and you hear a flush, and then a little longer pause, and another flush, and you hear that there's other noises under the flush. And
Is someone else puking?
no, they're courtesy flushing,
Oh.
but they know that someone else is in there.
She very blatantly stands in front of the door and taps her foot.
And they're like, occupied.
Not for long.
What? How long do you wait?
I give another minute, and then I just smash open the door.
Yeah, like right as you're like, you hear paper rustling, and then another flush, and the door opens, and you see someone go. Because you're standing there, and they're like, excuse me, and they scutter out.
Mm-hmm.
They wash their hands.
No.
No.
God.
What is this fucking dark
Well,
hole that I
This
am
is
in
a,
Yeah.
right
yeah.
now?
Well, this is standing there waiting.
I would still wash my hands.
Yeah, right. So there's no one there.
No one else.
So Tabitha sits herself on the sink that hasn't been puked in, and says, "Casey," because Casey's the one that contacts.
What?
Something's happening.
I appreciate that my founder likes me.
Okay.
They're picking a new one.
No. Okay.
Puppies are happening. Oh, they're so fluffy like little bears. Anyway,
What-
Casey?
what puppies are these?
25.
Hard to replace Gromit, but
So,
Gromit's a good dog. He passed away.
a few moments go by. Nothing. And as you're like, alright, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get a text that's like, hey dude, what's up?
Where did this dude say things were happening?
Pier 38.
Okay. Could you peek on Pier 38 for me?
You get a text back, yeah, one sec. And then after like a few seconds, you see the little bubbles. And then you get a little video feed, a little MP4 clip of just container boxes being moved around off of a ship. And he's like, nothing weird. What? Should we pay close attention to that? What's going on?
Can you get a name of the ship? A
The-
view of the name of the ship?
The one right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is.
Is this like your Barbara Gordon?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
Tabitha contacted Casey, Rabbit.
Rabbit's muted. Hello,
I
Rabbit.
heard you.
Okay. You look behind
I
you.
know who that is.
And I was like, why are you looking behind? He's not behind you.
Because it made a noise outside, and I noticed that it snowed a lot more.
Oh.
Nice.
Casey is technically Bosley. If we're
Yeah.
Aw.
yeah.
No, he's Mr. Universe.
Yes.
So, he's like, yeah, the one dock there right now is the temperate tortoise.
Thank you.
Temperate tortoise?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Its home
You can write
port.
this down, but you won't know it until like.
I know.
Its
Okay.
home port is
well, that's just it.
in Shanghai. Looks like a bunch of cheap plastic junk that goes into vending machines and claw machines.
Okay. If you see any ruckus,
I mean, yeah, I'll let you know.
thank you.
I'm also gonna let Jaws know because that's kind of her job. But
That's quite alright. Yes.
all right.
This isn't a secret.
Oh, okay.
I just would like to know too.
Sure. I got you.
Thank you.
All right. And then like the
Yeah. She hops down, washes her hands, and leaves.
Finished here.
Does
Tabitha comes back to the circle and goes, there's a ship from Shanghai called the Temperate Tortoise, and looks like it's just dropping off some things right now, just doodads and whatnots, claw machine things. So I think we're safe for the night.
Were you in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Huh. What? Is that where the information lived?
At the time, yes.
Huh.
You're not gonna explain?
Nope.
that's why ladies are always going to the bathroom, I guess.
I like.
There's a magic mirror that's whispers secrets to me.
I really want her. I really want her to go into the bathroom.
Yeah, I'll walk by it on the way out and just like peek in, open the door.
There's some discarded roller skates
Quarter?
Some puke?
and some puke along
The sink?
along the back sink and
I don't buy it.
yeah, it doesn't
How
check out.
astute.
Yeah. So you guys head back to your havens for the evening.
Yeah.
That Carl has crept his way over the land. You can't see anything farther out than 10 feet away. It's real nice, real atmospheric. You hear Ivy. You can't help but think you hear the waft of a lonely saxophone somewhere in the distance.
Yeah.
And
I like
you
that.
you take your rest for the day, and you awaken the next night. Drop a blood point, up a willpower.
For what?
We were. I don't know if you were here for that discussion. So
So you're already at full willpower, so you don't have to worry about that.
but you still have
But
to
you
drop
do
the
drop a
blood
blood point
That's
because
what happens.
you have to push a point of blood into your body in order to awaken
Cool.
itself.
The way I do it
Yeah.
is
Got
my
it.
circles are permanent, and
The blood
I
pool
erase
is set.
my squares.
Okay. And it's we take one of
So you lose a blood point for waking because you had to spend the blood to wake up, because you're
Okay.
dead.
Okay.
And if you had spent any of your willpower before, you can have one back.
I want to go eat something.
I haven't
I'm
spent
peckish.
anything. I guess I should have.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good idea.
Okay, so I guess I should go into.
Yeah,
You gotta do
if
that.
you want to go hunting.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh,
On the way to
Blood
the
point to
pier.
wake up.
There's lots of
Ah,
people on the way
okay.
to the pier.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me
You spend
a,
willpower when like
go ahead and
you
roll
got your
me a,
roll and want to like at least get
I'm
one.
a
Takeout check.
So
How do you typically
So yeah, you
feed?
usually always have your willpower unless you spend it. But
Clandestinely.
Yes.
I would imagine that by this point
me,
in
yeah.
time I would have a stable of people. Or at least one or two folks.
Oh, that's
based
her.
on-
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't remember
Based on-
anything, and I mostly just know
Oh,
how
it's
to play
her.
That's a
D&D.
background.
Yeah.
That's her.
Okay.
This
never
is much
mind.
simpler.
Streetwise and resources.
Once you figure it out,
so
it's
I will
reasonable.
be resourceful
figure it out.
in finding
Well,
people
all
in the
you know is
street
D&D, it's not so-
in order to eat them. Probably homeless people. I don't know.
No,
Folks that are
there's,
just around.
there's lots to choose from. So in that case, I would go
Like
for
this- the way this is set up.
manipulation plus
Or like
streetwise.
resources. If I have enough money, can I just buy like a blood packs and keep them in my refrigerator?
If you want to go vegetarian, yeah, sure.
you
can do
fucker,
that.
I want one.
Oh, what? Did you bring it up for the class?
Rude.
It's human.
Rude.
For those who can't see, Amanda is
I
eating
know.
an ice cream sandwich.
I'm
Mocking
not for
us with it.
everybody, but
Oh.
And it's snowing outside.
She's in a warm sweater inside.
Yeah, not inside.
All right.
Yeah, but she's just like,
So yeah, roll me a manipulation plus streetwise.
Streetwise plus manipulation, which lives there. Okay.
I have access to the herd.
Wow.
Yohoy.
Oh, ouch.
All those are terrible. I don't know the difficulty.
You find a couple of crack addicts who just give you way too much
Chatting.
trouble.
Oh, what's happening over there? I don't know.
I would fail.
Yev was trying to figure out how to eat. So
Oh,
he can
that's
regain his
right.
blood pool.
He's got weird eating problems.
Try
No,
to
he
hold up
doesn't
a
have weird
homeless
emo,
person
he's
and
just
shake
like-
him out. And you're like,
yeah.
your blood's coming out.
I'm spacing out.
So, does Axel have access to?
You have a point in the herd, right?
I do have a point in the herd.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
you can just sip off of that. You're good.
Do I need a roll to?
No, you just go down and you're like, yo.
Well, I'm down 2 blood points.
You go down, you go, yo, and you get a couple. It's good.
Okay,
That's
cool.
the fun of herd.
I come downstairs and see if there's anything left of breakfast from the other three.
Let me see.
I have roommates.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, we're Setites. We pretty much keep to ourselves.
That must be nice.
It's a lot different from my original home.
You walk into an active scene,
Oh my.
and
I don't remember the other two's names, and I feel bad about that.
Well,
There was a
you
woman
don't
and a
need to
man.
well,
That's about
Yusuf
right.
and the other one aren't there right now.
Okay.
But it is apparent by some of the paraphernalia that they started the party, and that it has continued, and there's some other illicit substances on various surfaces that have allowed this party to continue, and you are welcomed to it graciously, which allows you to partake of however much you want.
I only need the one.
Yeah.
So. And I gave myself a fancy merit, so it doesn't matter who I drink from.
But you do-
I am
you do
basically immune to drugs.
Oh,
Oh,
Drug
okay, yeah.
I have drug resistance,
There you go.
nice.
so it doesn't matter what I drink from.
So you got that.
Yeah.
Actually, let's skip to on Johnny real quick. Do you go out for a bite, or are you good with one down?
I think that I would take advantage of,
I was like, you show up at the party at my house?
well, I think I'd take advantage of some of these humans I've been keeping in my racket. And,
Do you have herd now?
She wouldn't have put
oh
the
no,
dot in it.
no.
Well,
Just-
okay, then
Since
that
I'm
would count.
Actively exploiting some people.
All right.
In order for this grift to work, I need some of your blood. It's weird. Just bear with me.
So that would indeed be manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
That's all of that.
This grift is called the Slurping Mama.
Wow, thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
The old nibbling grip.
No.
I don't like that either.
The old sip and switch.
Nope.
That's marginally better, I think. But not by much. It's a very thin margin.
3. Oh yeah, you're cute enough. They'll let you nuzzle up on them easy. Yeah, it's good.
It's those big brown eyes of yours.
Mm-hmm. And that
I
olive
also have an
complexion.
enchanting voice.
Yeah, you do. All right. So, Melora, typically there's a chantry meeting the night after a court just to go over anything in case something comes up.
Who took notes?
So you got Pierre did. Don't worry. Pierre's the primogen. So you show up at the chantry as instructed. Refreshments are served, so you're good on blood.
God bless America.
Is Kieran still around?
Huh?
Is Kieran still around?
Hell yeah.
Alright.
He's about to come up actually.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Oh, yay.
yeah.
Oh, Jason Carl says, Black Bat Vampire emoji.
Who's that?
Sup? Well,
Jason.
it's Senpai.
Oh,
he's
is
the, yeah, he
Are
writes
you
for-
telling somebody that you're playing Masquerade?
He's Vampire
I
Senpai.
just tweeted out.
Oh.
Yeah, you get down there and there's like the Archon's here and they're like, yeah, but we're pretty sure he's not here for us. Okay, cool. Bert is super quiet about the whole thing.
Wait, is she? Where is she? So she's.
The
We're not there. Are we?
No,
there?
you're not
No,
there.
that's just
This
her.
is, yeah, this is
I'm
Okay.
still
This is
hunting
nerd
for
business.
crackheads.
Okay.
yeah.
Too
This
slippery.
is
Nerd business.
excessively nerdy.
I moved from crackheads to meth heads as I make my way to the box.
And
The
so
crackheads
once,
are too slippery.
once that is sort of, once everyone's like, all right, thank you, we'll meet again next week, Kieran comes scuttling up to you, and he's like, Laura, oh my goodness, okay, you remember a couple weeks ago, you found, and I'm sorry, I don't know where this accent is going to go or where it starts, but
Florida.
it's in there.
He's Welsh.
It's somewhere on the main island.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to try and stay.
You should, yeah.
We'll see. Because I haven't heard a Welsh accent in my brain in a long time, so I'm sorry. It's
That's
probably
fair.
going to drift north. He's like, a couple weeks ago, we were working on this, working on that invocation for to put.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you sensed a strange shift, like a rattle, right?
Yes.
It's tomorrow.
What?
There's going to be an earthquake tomorrow. I asked Ching. Ching said there would be a Earth event, and I can only what it is. There's going to be an earthquake.
Do you know how bad?
No, but they found a locus link to it at this location, and as far as I can tell, it's out on a dock.
Would it be a pier?
No, it has nothing to do with free.
No, you knob, a pier. Fuck's sake.
Listen with your ears, not your
He
eyes.
pulls out a phone. Oh yeah, 38.
Oh.
What?
Piss it.
What? He's like, I was thinking of going up there. I like setting up some like maybe a ritual or like something, and so making just to do some tests. Oh no, you made the noise of the dog noise. Okay. What? Oh, you're. Oh,
So.
sorry. No, I don't. It's okay.
I tell you.
He shuts up.
Tell you, but you need to be chill for a moment, yeah?
You see that he gets extra less chill when you say that.
So, you remember the guy who came in, you know, with the hat when we were in London? Remember? It was real weird and we didn't like him, right? You know how he's here in town now?
He wasn't there for that.
For fuck's sake, Kieran.
He's always been out here.
Yeah.
You're right, you know the fucking weird ass guy who came in with the very American accent. You know which one. You know which one. The one you could be like by 5 seconds before you're like, my skin's getting off me bones.
He's like, ask my Ivy.
That's fair, honestly. But no.
Months.
That's fair. But no, honestly, the new one. The
He's
new one
always
was
like,
the big deal.
what chap? I like Harry Potter. You from London?
Yeah, I mean, it's well rude, but that's not what I mean. You know the new big deal what came in?
People would be really upset.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. He said there's something weird going on at Pier 38.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah. So, and he's shifty. Yeah, so I feel like maybe don't go there.
Right.
Talk out.
Because I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I cannot throw him very far.
No, you can't. That's.
Because I've got these wee arms, you see.
I tell you, if you come out with me and the lads,
I
get built up.
don't want to. No,
Like-
not
like-
li- I told you I'm not going to LARP with you. I told you.
you don't have
this.
to. You don't have
I
to
don't-
like be it. You could just like
Oh no.
standing invitation. Just okay. All right. That reminds me, I gotta prep. Okay, bye. And he's like, he like scoots off.
My poor Kieran.
Yeah, I can put the foam balls on your arrows.
That's the coin. Lightning bolt.
I gotta get all my bean sacks.
How are you gonna cast lightning bolt if you don't have bean bags?
So the rest of y'all are having your evening, and you start your eve. How are you planning to approach any of this ridiculousness?
We didn't make a plan.
No, we didn't.
No.
We were just sort of like,
I'm gonna go
okay.
to Pier 38 after I try to catch a meth head.
After
Crackhead,
I
no
would
good.
say
Meth head maybe good.
after breakfast, Tabitha, who is used to organizing a group and keeping things running, sends a text out to everyone that says, I think we should go look at Pier 38. If anyone would like to come with me, I'll be leaving my home at this time.
So you send this to Anjani and Axel and Ivy, because Melora said she was not having anything to do with it.
Yes. Well, no, I sent it to everyone. It's a standing invitation. She's allowed to say, no, I'm not going.
It's a group.
I said, I'm going. If anyone would like to come, they can.
Alright. She already voiced that she didn't want to go last night. You're still sending the text though?
Yes.
It's like a
Okay.
group.
So
Yeah.
you get the you get the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I feel like I have to go because I know shit.
And also because you told Kieran not to go. And
I
you know he'd be very disappointed if
Someone didn't go and report back.
or he might go.
Anyway,
There's a decent chance he's
you can threaten him with his grandmother.
as soon as he gets tired of prepping, he might come back to it and want to go out there.
So at least if I'm there, I can shout at him to go back home. Alright, I guess I'm going. I don't want to, but I'm going.
after Axel is done.
It's got like an ant that's real scary. You don't know what that's about, but you've
No,
heard
she's an aunt.
you've heard some there's like some of the other like older Tremere who are there have mentioned this ant, and it's like don't just leave him alone. So like there's this spooky. So like if something were to happen to him, you don't think he'd get back to you, but you were the one who told him about it.
Yeah, I don't need that.
She a crazy bitch.
I'll reply yeah with the cowboy hat emoji.
Will you be meeting me at my home to go in my car, or will we meet there?
No. With a horse emoji.
I will see you there.
I just said okay, but it's just the O and K under lowercase with a period.
She had to stop sending texts in code for everybody else.
See. Axel gets on the motorcycle. Oh yeah, motorcycle.
Yes, I know you'll meet me there.
Motorcycle, and I was like, come on, Paco, we got work to do.
One more to hear it from.
I know.
Yeah.
One more to hear from.
Yeah, okay.
Are you gonna meet her at her place? You gonna meet her at the
I'll meet you at your place.
Okay, so Tabitha waits for anyone who's going to show, and at the time she said she was going to leave, she just leaves. Regardless
So
of.
you gonna head straight to the pier, or are you gonna
Yeah.
come over to Mars's?
Okay.
Or to
No,
Tabitha's?
I'm gonna take a left.
Alright.
Oh,
Take the streetcar.
if your intention was to wound me, bullseye.
Wow, it was easier than I thought.
Cable
Alright.
car.
Nice.
Your cable car steed.
So when Johnny shows up at the door,
I haven't done this yet.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it. It's a tourist thing. They love it.
you kind of,
You just gotta roll something to see if he enjoyed the cable car.
No, I think he
I think he would.
he understands it's a lot like when people go to the alligator museum, the
Oh.
alligator
Oh.
petting zoo. You're like,
Gatorland.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I get it. It's the thing you do. It's okay. You know. Whereas there you lose a finger on the cable car, it might suddenly come loose and go careening down miles of hill. You know, there's a danger element. It's there and it's fun.
Since you're the only one coming with me and Johnny, do you, shall we just get going?
Sounds good to me.
Wonderful. Gets into her car. And off they go.
So
Keep it shiny in your car.
Yes. Everything in my car is shiny.
Alright.
Are you transfixed?
no.
No.
No,
Oh.
she just trying to steal shit.
Roll
Oh.
me, or do you self-control or do you conviction? Self-control or instinct?
I think self-control.
Yeah, roll that for me. Difficulty 6.
Yeah.
All the shiny.
Yeah.
But
It's like everything in my car is fucking shiny.
Shiny.
Yes. It's just playing it with tin foil and
The treasure from the
What's
sun.
the right roll?
Thank you, yeah.
Just however many dots you have in self-control.
Is that a
self-control
skill?
is down
What
in your
is that?
advantages.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh.
down.
Oh, okay.
There you were.
Down there in virtues.
Look at me. All self-control.
Or do you have like a lot in self-control?
No.
I was gonna say, because should you?
It's like an okay amount.
You gently caress several high-priced items that are part of the car, as well as the upholstery, but manage to not have anything find its way into your purse. Yeah.
This is so different from working with Dorian.
So of course, there's no proper parking at this pier,
I miss the mistress.
but there are plenty of places to just tuck your vehicles behind something, or if you got lifted in, or if you strolled up. Go ahead and make perception plus alertness rolls, difficulty 7,
Everybody?
all around. Yeah.
Does my thing count for this? Insight full?
Yeah. So it counts.
You said perception plus alertness?
Yeah.
You
Noisy?
count it as one, you still roll
Yes.
the dice.
Yeah, you just add
So
1
it's
on
like-
top of whatever your totals are.
So, what is it?
Oh yeah, you got it.
What was difficulty? 7?
7.
Yeah,
So
that's.
that goes
Well,
over.
at least I had one success
Okay,
this
4.
time.
Can I borrow some dice?
Still going, still going.
4.
No, because I can't count 10 people.
How much you get on Johnny?
4. Wow. 7 dice and all of them are botch. I got
Spend
one
willpower.
success. Well, I got one success for the.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right.
See, it's not the dice.
No.
It is
Melora?
absolutely the dice.
You show up and you're like, I don't bloody know. I don't bloody know. But luckily, Ivy slides up next to you and is like,
Hey,
Alright.
So,
just as you hear a car door and from around the corner of some containers, Anjani and Tabitha hear the two of yours exchange,
hey.
and
Alright.
and they come over towards you, and then you all hear the roar of a motorcycle come screeching up, and it's got those
Suck you,
loud
just
ass
hide.
obnoxious speakers on them, and it's playing mariachi music, gangster rap. What are you feeling? What is Axel listen to?
Pitbull!
No.
You say it's playing Pitbull?
Yeah.
Oh, for
You hear over the yeah, Mr. Worldwide, and it sort of hangs in the night
Oh, I like
over the rest of you as she kills the engine, and you hear a
Tabitha looks like the rundown kindergarten teacher who's just like, this is my fucking life now.
Axel.
I mean, you should be used to it by now with Mad Mags like running around, being an asshole.
Yeah, but she didn't have to deal with Mags as often
That's true.
until she became a vampire.
I like that guy, Mr. 305. He's good. Good music.
Yeah, from behind. Yeah, like you
Fireball.
don't see them anywhere. You don't, and then you hear Ivy give the shout out, and you're like, oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
So there you've assembled, and before you out into the bay, you see the stereotypical warehouse that stretches out on top of the pier that creaks into the bay, almost as if trying to find its way to the east side of it, but it doesn't know that it really needs to be going the other way. And there is currently no ship docked there. The giant lift cranes, loom in the darkness, Carl kind of creeping at its edges, the skeletons of industry sort of keeping watch over your enterprise, and you can see very dim lights, sort of just like the standard running lights of the warehouse out before you.
Is this the place?
She says quietly after that motorcycle entrance.
Right?
So, sorry, is today when the earthquake's supposed to happen?
Tomorrow. Oh, it's today? Okay.
Okay. Well,
Alright, well.
so,
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah.
So everybody knows.
Good day.
Oh wait, did I say tomorrow?
You
I
said
don't remember.
Kieran said
Tony.
tomorrow.
But I could remember. Was that yesterday that he told me?
No, it was this evening.
This
So
evening.
sorry, yes, Karen said tomorrow.
So not today, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow there's going to be a big fucking earthquake. Yeah, I just thought you all should know.
Should we come back tomorrow?
I mean, do you want to be here during a big fucking earthquake?
Never been in an earthquake.
Then maybe you want to come back tomorrow.
I was like, they're
So I
really
imagine
not.
wherever you are, you're going to feel it.
Oh. Cool.
Well, let's see
They're
if
kind of a
there's
thing.
anything here that might be causing one.
Like the earth.
Yes, like the Earth.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a large crack in the Earth inside the pier.
Like a fissure.
Yeah.
Fissures. Have fun words.
You hear? No wonder you work alone.
It's 4 words.
Yeah, no, it's a big step. Like you're like it does take you aback for just a half moment.
Nice diverse reply. That's 4 words.
What? No, it was like it was clearly.
You had more
Well,
words, don't worry
well,
about it.
yeah,
It's all good.
I'm sorry, Ivy.
Yeah, it is.
Are you like Grigia?
I think
As
you
far
think
as-
you are.
Yeah, as far as you know, you are.
I suppose.
All right. Okay. I'll go in first since I'm more adept at the dark, I suppose.
I mean, I could have Paco.
I mean, as I said,
Paco can kind of take a look. I mean, if we don't think that there's anything like.
There's a cat.
It's sitting.
Sure.
It's sitting on the back of the motorbike. Like,
Pardon me, Mr. Paco, if you would be so kind as to go ahead of us.
He's going to be able to tell us what he sees.
Send the cat in first.
stretch.
Paco.
Hop.
Excuse me.
Like it's pointed in the direction, looking at you like I'm going. Pad. The
Is he
tail.
always like this?
Just.
He's a cat.
So Paco goes on in.
Which because we have very limited communication.
So this is all planned then, yeah?
I walk in
So
directly
you're the cat.
behind Paco. I let him in first.
As you start scooting in behind him,
Yeah.
he sort of like slows and sort of looks back, like he's not used to running a joint operation. Like
Hello.
I can't actually
Oh, no.
speak to you,
You're crimping his
so I
style.
need to go too.
What? Did you just talk? Are you like Rigia?
and it,
Sometimes I wish I were.
I'm like, he normally does it alone. You're kind of like cramping his style.
I also normally do things alone.
Same.
Man.
you actually get less of the attitude.
Actually, I don't do things alone. I do things with a partner.
Oh
Aw.
snap!
That's sad.
Hey, maybe a self-control roll.
Me?
Difficulty 8.
Oh.
Sorry, difficulty 6. I meant to go low, but you just
1.
okay. Yeah, that stings a little. That stings a little.
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow at your alone comment.
The cat.
Bitter about my clan.
Paco eases up on the attitude just a twinge, something about a feline's intuition, and pads in with you. Actually, you get to the door, and it appears to be locked with a padlock on a latch, holding the double doors closed. The double doors are in a larger roll door, and then Paco kind of sits and looks up at you, and then looks up at an open window, and sort of goes.
Is there like a drain pipe or something nearby?
You're like you think maybe a cat could get up there?
I think I could get up there. With
Yeah.
my specialty in Dex pole dancer.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks sturdy-ish.
Okay.
You're pretty light on your.
If Paco sees her climbing up, he's just gonna jump on her back.
Yeah.
Unless you indicate for him to jump on your back.
I mean,
Is
like I
there-
said, I'm used to working with a partner. I really don't mind.
Where are you going?
It's locked.
I can unlock it.
What's the fun in that?
You get to practice.
All right, unlock the door, because I didn't know you followed me in.
How far?
I mean, we're
that's
like
the
we're
thing,
not
like,
super far
Okay,
away.
okay.
yeah.
Am I
We're
in
like at the-
something or?
No, you're at the front door.
Okay.
You guys are still like at the street. The door is like
back because we're letting the cat do his thing.
it's several yards from the street.
Sure.
Like there's enough room for like big rigs to park in and that sort of thing. And
I'm like, I saw you walk up to the door and then like drift off into a drain pipe. So I'm like, do you want a hand?
Sure.
I'll try to unlock the door.
Paco starts licking his balls. So
I like this cat.
As a cat.
so go ahead and roll Dex plus larceny or security.
The sting.
I don't
Door doesn't take
Where does
my
it live?
All right, so security's here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Where'd
vampire
you-
now. I'm the only
what's in
surviving
that?
I don't
vampire.
remember.
You were a security specialist. What the hell is this?
We didn't
Because he's cool.
do that good.
Oh my, yeah, no, I guess
Well, I
not.
mean, he can still like take your car. Like, he can still answer
Well,
the
you wanna
phone.
spend
If he's been told not to.
You
Oh,
wanna
I
spend
didn't
some
realize that.
willpower on
Yeah,
that?
No.
I guess you could use
Yeah,
streetwise.
no, I'm persona non grata.
That
kind
was
of.
what I was anticipating.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Just streetwise?
Yeah.
Dex streetwise?
Mistress
Yeah,
doesn't like
Dex
people
plus
playing
streetwise.
with
What is
things.
what is the DC?
I'm no longer
the-
a stable person now.
That was stupid. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a lot of dice.
That was their mistress's choice.
Yeah.
Well, it's 6. Okay. 7?
How's it 6?
Dex?
That's 3.
3.
How did you? Oh,
I
that's
bought
weird.
that.
I bought that.
Okay, because you had because up here you have streetwise and 1, and so that's what I was looking at. Okay.
No, the background. I don't know. Maybe I'm broken.
Weird. All right, whatever. Yeah. What? Okay. Difficulty 7. 1, 2.
Yes. 2 and then a 10.
Oh, if I said difficulty 7, so 3, 4. Oh yeah. So you're like, oh yeah, I have this exact lock, and if I jimmy it just the right way, it pops. So you can now at least open these double doors.
Thank you, Ivy.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. You're welcome.
Mr. Paco?
You
Gesture.
Now I hang back.
you
I
see
was
him,
told to let the cat go first.
You see him weave in and start moving around. So-
Tabitha actually draws one of her guns before she goes in.
So Axel,
Axel's like, oh, that's a good idea. And also draws a gun.
what is Paco's deal? How is he scoping things out?
How's the investigation?
I mean, he's a
I'll
cat.
return this piece.
Like
Yeah.
a cat.
Okay.
I'm assuming, so if it's a cat, they're gonna try and get up high, right? So
Usually.
if there are things to be on top of, like crates or whatever.
Do you have Eyes of the Beast or anything, or
No,
he's just your ghoul? And,
Yeah, he's just gonna. We haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
He gave me enough XP the last time.
15 is a lot of XP.
Wasn't enough.
Well, that's too bad. All right. What's up, yet?
I realize this is not that.
Oh, okay.
So I can re-roll if you'd like.
No, that's fine for now. I'll
I
stick with
believe
it.
this
It's
is
okay.
supposed to be contact.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna get up high and try and see if he sees anything that would be weird, and then come back down to us.
Well, as Tabitha is sliding into the cracked open door behind Paco, you don't hear, you just see a huge fucking rat come bolting out of the doorway under Tabitha's feet, and Paco is straight up on its tail, and they go bolting around the building.
Who's Axel's face?
I'm guessing that didn't go the way you want it to.
Is the cat okay?
Cat's fine.
You hear a trash can get knocked over.
Unless you want him to do that. Did you want him to do that?
Nope.
It's loud in there.
Fine.
It's outside now. It's kind of okay.
She waits.
What happened?
Oh, he found a large rat and ran it out.
That's more exciting than investigating.
That's cool beans. I keep going.
Yeah.
The cat knocked over a trash can.
So you.
And then I quickly put my gun in it and go,
Oh no, it was outside.
Oh, okay.
They chased around a corner.
gotcha.
So as you slide into the building, go ahead and make an perception plus alertness.
Difficulty.
Difficulty 7.
Four.
Container boxes. Just down as far as the eye can see. Towards the back 2/3 though, there's a bit of a taller tower than the rest. It seems to be stacked in a unique way that doesn't match the other stacks entirely.
Tabitha pulls out her phone and flashes the light a few times. It's safe. Out at people.
Okay. So as you guys are waiting for the signal back from Tabitha, Paco comes back
With the rat.
with that same rat, but it's shriveled, and he's carrying it in his paw, in his mouth, and he plops it on the ground in front of you guys.
I look at him and go, fuck with this.
He licks his chest.
That's nice.
We're gonna have a talk.
I like the cat.
I'm
Pet
sure.
your cat.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like as soon as you say that, he kind of leans towards Melora.
She just like giggles.
Yeah.
It's like the first time she's actually shown joy.
The purr sounds like someone grinding rubber against asphalt. It's just sort of a.
Oh, it's like the purr that like the really like manky ass alley cats.
Yep.
Yeah. Delightful. I love it.
And he sort of slow blinks at you a couple times, like, yeah, it's good to be me.
Sassy.
And then you see the flash of the cell phone light
Mm-hmm.
from within the doors from Tabitha.
Guess that means it's okay to go in.
Alright, we'll walk in.
Yeah. Walk in that direction. But I have my gun drawn.
Yeah. As Paco sees this movement, he also moves in and scurries between a couple legs, and then starts hopping up on some boxes and other things.
I just have a knife out. Or my dagger.
You come up on Tabitha.
Those are strange.
She is indicating some container boxes down towards the back third of the building.
Oh. Is it because they're container boxes in a warehouse?
Because they're stacked differently from the rest of these, and much taller.
Perception plus alertness. Difficulty 7.
So well with that. You did difficulty 7?
Yes.
Four, 5.
So yeah, so you with the 2, you're like, yeah, there's definitely something up with that configuration. With the 3, you're like, oh yeah, see, they're they're not like in a row and they're like aside. It's weird. Ivy similarly, you're just sort of like, cool. There's boxes.
Yeah.
How did you get on, Johnny?
6 bucks.
0.
Okay, you're like, how come I can't pet the cat? He's licking his paws.
You try to figure out how to get the cat in your coat.
Yeah.
He goes right in there. He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, hell yeah, it's warm in there.
Is it warm though?
I mean, it's a coat.
The coat itself is
I
warm.
guess.
Yeah.
Was like the first
And
It's
if
like,
she,
you know,
if
it's
she,
like
act,
unwrapping blanket
she's
for
blood.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You hear a muffled from inside her coat.
You're still on. Yeah.
You're a bite cat.
5.
5.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, those are stacked hella wrong. You've been in where like just like you worked at a dock for a hot minute when you did some legit, like, that's someone should be fired for how those boxes are stacked. They're too high. That shit'll tip over and everyone's gonna lose money and someone might die. And they're stacked in sort of a weird corresponding grid situation.
There's something not right with these boxes.
Oh, it's like a
Yes, I agree.
ocean violating waiting to happen at the least.
So like if there was like an earthquake and all that shit come tumbling down, this whole place.
There's going to be. There's going to be an
like-
earthquake tomorrow.
Yeah, you
Well,
said
like,
that.
you know, I'm just saying, like, all this is gonna come tumbling down, and then this whole fucking pier is gonna be in the ocean.
Ivy, do you think you can get one of these containers open?
Does,
Anjani, do you think you can get
Yeah.
one of these containers open?
do any of them look like they have doors?
What
Or are
was
they
that?
stacked on like? Oh, sorry.
She said, what containers? So Tabitha takes her volley and goes, these containers! And goes,
She's busy with the cat in her coat.
do they look like they have doors?
Oh yeah, no, they all, yeah. So these
Well, just like I don't know if they're
these
stacked like on the door.
Oh, I see what
Oh,
you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Like.
so none of them are stacked upright, which would be
Got it.
blatant.
Yeah.
They are all stacked in their
in like a weird spiral or something.
in a safe configuration, but the fact that they're stacked tightly together
Mm-hmm.
in the directions they are currently, it is not normal nor kosher.
Yeah, I can open one.
But you guys are actually
And we
like
got we got a pickpocket and a private eye.
these are far down this hallway. So you guys would have to move up to that, or have someone move up to it too.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
well-
as soon as you point Anjani at them,
Yeah.
so that she gets an eyeball of it, Paco comes over and rubs against your leg again.
I'll just walk. I mean, I'm just gonna walk up. And try to
I still keep my gun out and trained, and I walk along with him.
As you guys get a little closer, you notice that at the floor level of this tower, some of the boxes are offset
Mm-hmm.
strangely. Like some are tucked in farther than others. Sort of like if someone started playing Jenga, but gave up partway through.
That
and
one
never,
wasn't loose enough?
Yeah, and never put them back. So yeah.
I would like to investigate the box as we're walking past it.
All right, go ahead and roll perception plus investigation. Is anyone else scoping out the boxes?
Yes.
What is the DC?
6.
Is insightful count?
Yes.
No. Okay.
It's horrible. Difficulty 6?
1, a 2, a 3, a 4.
A none.
4.
I'm gonna spend a willpower so I don't botch.
All right.
Well, how are we scoping out the boxes if they're not already open?
Well, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I can't open them. I figure I was gonna wait till someone popped one open before I tried to open it.
I think we're investigating like around it or whatever.
Was that a 5 and Johnny?
Yeah.
All right. So a 5 and a 4. Anyone else? No.
No, I zeroed it.
All right. Cool.
Wait until it's open.
So the two of you realize that these boxes are set up in such a way that it actually makes a pathway into the tower.
Huh.
Like through the boxes, or like,
Like if you open
it's like
one
a
box,
wedge that you have to go through.
like you open one box and you keep going and
It's
it
like a
goes
maze.
Oh, good.
So wait, like there's more boxes. Like
Yeah,
open
this
one
is a huge stack.
It's like an entrance into a maze of
Yeah.
boxes.
And as you're
Oh,
looking at it,
that's
it
fun.
looks like, oh, they're just offset. But as you turn, if you stick your head in and turn if you like turn at the right angle, you can see that it actually dips around and goes in
It
underneath.
dips around and goes in.
Well,
Yeah, the boxes.
I cannot get a visual grasp on this.
Here, come here.
Alright, I go over.
I was afraid this might be a thing.
There's a whiteboard.
There's whiteboard.
No, don't sully it.
Too bad. It's gonna be sullied. All right.
Alright, class.
All right. So.
I do love to see Tony's drawing skills.
Fuck you. All right. So this is an overhead view, and you're looking this way. You see how, if this is a row of box containers,
Yeah.
right? They would look something like this: box, 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 box,
Yeah.
offset, right?
Yeah. Okay.
As you guys are scoping it out, and
Yeah.
you come over at this angle,
Uh-huh.
you see that there's actually like a box container here that offsets it so that there's actually like a path in.
It's like a little labyrinth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a corn maze.
Yeah.
It's a maze.
I was like, that's
Yeah, it's a maze.
So you realize that there is
that's
some
amazing.
sort of pathway into
Oh,
this
I'm sorry.
pile.
No.
Maze is another way of saying corn.
Yes. Why?
I was just explaining that.
See.
I don't look at the parrot.
Okay.
So we're gonna go in. Don't go in.
Well, Tabitha
Yeah,
cocks her gun and
I walk in.
takes a step in,
Same.
hugging the sides, and
All right, and you've got what do you got for dark? Because it is pitch black in there.
I'm a Setite, so I have like my eyes.
Okay. What
So
do
you
you do
take
again?
lead. Or you can take point.
I mean, yeah, that was the idea.
All right. So you burn the blood point and you activate your eyeballs,
Yes.
and yeah, you see that the path isn't very deep.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of weaves around on itself, and you see that there is a center box that juts out from two others
Mhm.
with the doors open, and there's a small work light that's dangling over sort of a open space with a card table. and a
If
couple
Ivy's
folding
still
chairs.
following me, I kind of like this.
Kind of like a mom in a
Yeah,
movie.
she
Yeah,
mom-
like I'm mom
Soccer
arm you.
momming?
Yeah,
Mm.
and quietly in his ear with her little serpent tongue that might tickle.
Service.
Yes. She whispers, "There's a card table and a work lamp in that box."
Oh, I love
It's out front of it, but yeah.
Yeah, near that box.
Delightful. Can I try to? I would like to sneak over to it to try to stay out of the light while
Totally.
approaching.
That's Dex plus Stealth.
Cool. Like that. And that. I don't know.
2 successes, yeah.
Okay. What's the default success? 6. Or like what's the default succeed? If not
6 is like
specified?
this might be a challenge.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Um,
her version of a top knot.
So you slide over,
Yep.
and you see that there's a deck of cards that are sort of there's actually a solitaire spread
Mm.
out on the
Beside
deck
you.
or out on the table, and can you see in the dark?
I don't believe I can, but there's a light nearby.
Actually, no.
I have a UV flashlight.
Okay.
Is that helpful? Nope.
I mean, not really.
Great.
It would really hurt to look by that light.
Probably.
like it wouldn't hurt you to it would not cause you damage, but it's like holding it's holding a really super crazy bright flashlight in the middle of a dark room. It would just be like, ow. Yeah. So you.
Yeah, I stay back.
Yeah, I don't have the flashlight of any other guy. I mean, I'm sure it would, but whatever.
So you start to sneak up,
You
and
don't
then
have a cell phone?
I do have a cell phone.
so you're gonna cell phone flashlight it.
Yeah, because the cell phone flashlight's
Do I-
really dim.
Well, you won't be able to sneak because you're just gonna have this huge
Yeah.
fucking
No.
headlamp.
Well, I'm walking towards a light source, so I'm like.
No, it's just dangling there. It's not on.
Oh.
Like obviously someone has set up like a
Got it.
like a break area.
Yeah. Okay. Then I just walk up to it.
Well, you can't, or you
Well,
just,
like,
you're
yeah,
gonna,
I'll
you're
just
gonna sneak up to it.
Yeah. If I can, she points me in a direction, I can shuffle over to it.
You sort of.
What did you see? A card table?
A
Yeah,
card
there's
table.
A card table and a like a work lamp.
You make contact with the chair, so
Mm.
you know that you must be next to where she was talking about. So I'm guessing you like listen really hard or what?
Do you
Screw
motion for
around.
me to follow?
Yeah. Do I? If I don't hear anything, yeah.
All right,
Okay.
perception plus alertness. Or sorry, perception plus alertness. Difficulty 6.
Heard that.
Oh.
Twice now.
1, 2. One of those goes away. 2 goes 10.
Mm-hmm.
3.
From inside from behind you, you hear like the scraping of stone against wood.
Who? All of us?
I do.
Just
Oh,
Ivy.
sorry.
I'll.
You kind of wave me over?
No.
No, I stay. I wait.
Which direction?
From behind you.
Behind me.
You think that's where the open container is.
Mm-hmm. I will turn around really fast.
Sorry.
All right. Nothing
Uh,
happens.
Hmm.
Are you trying to stay stealthy while you turn around really fast, or
No.
are you trying to surprise whatever's there?
I'm just trying to I heard a thing. I'm gonna like that.
To orient. All right.
And so I can see all of this.
Yeah.
Do I see anything around him?
No.
Okay.
Make another perception plus alert.
I keep the barrel of my gun trained at his
Difficulty
feet.
6. Yeah.
One.
Silence. No smell. No shift of air.
Okay, and I slowly approach him.
I have my knife in
with
my
my
hand.
gun.
Just
Yeah.
You sense you smell the familiar perfume that Tabitha wears, so you're pretty sure that presence next to you is her now. The rest of you outside of the maze, Paco has posted up next to the entrance
Mm-hmm.
and is sort of doing that like sniffy sniff.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting a real good
Mm-hmm.
lay of what's in here.
Does he detect anything?
You know what base cats do when they smell something they've never smelled before and they get the weird thing where their mouth is kind of open?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
face.
Do you ask him?
Yeah.
I love baby cat face. He just bleps
You
in
get the
response.
blep.
Yeah. Like, okay. I guess that's the
What's
thing then.
that mean?
It
When he does
means
that, what's
it-
that mean?
It means he cannot smell nothing weird.
There's a lot of new smells in
Yeah.
here, so it's like
So
There's
he's
no
just
hits.
overloaded. Okay.
Yes.
So should we follow them in or
I mean,
what do you,
I guess
what do
we
you want?
could.
I mean, we'll stand out here and see if there's anyone coming. What do you want? What
I
do you
don't
want to
think
do?
there's gonna be. I mean, there might be someone coming. Is there someone coming?
I don't know everything. I'm not a witch.
I thought you were like some
Kind
kind
of-
of like.
I mean,
Come on.
I'm kind of.
I'm like.
Okay, I'm kind of a witch, but not like I don't know everything. I don't.
Is on Johnny. Where are you? Are you with us or are you with them?
With you.
Okay. You want to go? Do you want to go in? Do you think we should?
Yeah,
I think we should go
You want what do you want to do? You want to go in?
in.
Hey, Johnny, make me a perception plus alertness roll. Difficulty 7.
Oh, dang.
Oh dang.
Oh, dang.
Oh damn.
5. Wait, 6.
Paco has one of your earrings,
Uh-huh.
and he's starting to scoot it along the floor away.
That's okay.
Do I notice? I don't notice this.
You do notice he's now like doing the.
Buckle.
The crazy head tilt.
Yeah. Picks it up in his mouth. It's very nice. Hoop earring.
Buckle.
Little.
Make sure to take it away from him. It's not hurt if he swallows it.
No, he's not gonna swallow it.
I mean, he looks like he wants to though.
I just look at him and I'm like, buckle.
His eyes get real big, and he drops it out of his mouth, and he starts to hunch,
I look at him and I was like, if you cannot behave, you can go
And he
sit in a
starts-
motorcycle.
and you see like the shiver,
Mhm.
and he starts going. Ah, ah, ah,
Oh, good.
ah, ah,
We hear that, right?
The hurt point still
Look at his face.
That's when I shine
the earring out of the way of the.
Oh, just in time. Something
Tentacle.
that looked like it was the rat just goes "Gwah," onto the concrete.
Buckle.
Right away.
Go sit in the motorcycle.
Gwah, and like a second one pops out.
Where is this happening? Behind us?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Can
guys
we hear
don't
it?
know.
No.
It's well insulated where you guys are.
Buckle.
And he starts sauntering off with that tail, and all you get's the shrimp, just sauntering back towards the motorcycle. And now there's a little
It's well nasty, that is.
blood there.
I know. Axel's really miffed, so she's like, I'm just gonna fucking go in there now. She's like
Yeah,
in the dark. So she just like turns on her cell phone, like high beam, and it's just like going on.
Yeah, it's harsh.
If you don't say anything, then you're like,
Does she get to us?
Oh yeah, you see that light just
And-
coming in.
And I
I'm gonna
straight
follow
up
it like a safe
cobra
distance.
hiss without spitting venom at you.
yeah.
And like crumple to the ground.
Was that alarm?
I'm following, but like at a safe distance back
Yeah.
from whatever's happening here.
So the lights come on as Axel stalks in with her
Like
flash.
the
with her-
lights
with her-
overhead come on, or
No, no,
like
just-
oh
yeah,
okay,
with
okay,
a
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
And it's yeah
It's not good.
It's
I
not
look,
subtle
I
enough.
look at him like, are you okay?
Yeah, you properly see the spread of the solitaire.
Turn that off.
Then I can't.
Well, now I can't see.
Okay, oh, whatever. Okay, she turns off her phone.
Darkness again.
I could have been bleeding from my eyes at this point.
So we can't see around the corner where Yev is.
No,
Or
you
where-
are all now where Yev is. Like you walked up on her and Yev
Okay,
Yeah.
but
and Ivy
okay,
next to a couple of folding chairs and a card table with a solitaire spread on it
okay.
and a little work light.
But the light
hanging
wasn't
above.
on.
No.
Okay.
And then you saw that the doors to a box were open,
Mhm.
That's
sort
where
of to
I'm
the
looking.
right,
Okay.
where he was looking into.
Did you see
In the
anything?
moment of
Oh.
the flash of light, you
Uh-huh.
noticed that there was there were two long crates inside inside this container.
Just crates. Don't pick out the crates.
She said, just a minute.
Okay,
I
hey,
can't
you stay back there. I'm gonna walk
see.
in.
You can't. I mean, are you gonna fumble in?
I'm gonna turn on my cell phone camera light.
Okay.
Like to full brightness?
No,
Oh, okay.
but I'm in front of you, so it
Yeah.
should be
It's
less
just
bad.
like-
Okay.
Gotta blink away all the dancing lights.
All right. So as you flash your camera in there, you flash your phone in there. You see the two wooden crates, long and tall, that sit in the center of it, And in the back right corner, you see this Gothic stone statue. It's a feminine form. You only say feminine because it has longer tendrils, hair sculpt, and sort of a more pronounced chest, and has like
How is the chest pronounced?
chest.
Pronounced like chest.
Today's it has a kite shield in its left hand, and a gnarly looking mace with spikes that jut out in its offhand, and it looks as if it's prepped to block.
But it looks like a statue.
Yeah.
Hey Melora,
Yeah.
there's like a gargoyle thing looking in here. You guys have those, right? In like museums and shit?
You know, England's not the only place that has museums. Everyone has museums.
None that I've seen.
He's from Florida.
Yeah, they got gargoyles.
There's one in here.
Alright.
You can see it from him flashing his cell phone in there.
And yeah, it's a gargoyle.
It very much looks like something. It looks like something crawled off of one of the towers, and has now taken position at the back of this.
Does it look noteworthy to me, or like
It's pretty
or,
rad. Like it's
Someone
in
you
super
know.
good condition.
I like it, but I don't like.
It's very aesthetic, but no, it doesn't really trigger a roll an int plus a cult.
Int plus a cult? Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any specialties in any of those?
I don't think so. But my occult's pretty good, so.
Good.
What's my
Difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8?
Yeah. This is some obscure stuff.
8's pretty high, so it's probably not gonna happen. Well, I got 110,
Reroll that.
and then it rolled a 2, so I got 1 success.
Something pings in your brain that you're like, yeah, gargoyles. Something Tremere gargoyles. Something you feel like you should know something about this. You don't know what, but
far
you're
as I
like
get.
you're like these are too many coincidences together that this sets off a little chime, and the thing with Kieran.
But it's like, it's specifically, like, I recognize that it's Tremere, though.
It has something to do with your legacy as a clan, yes.
Okay.
You're not 100% sure yet. Take a 2-minute.
Someone you know.
I mean, not personally, but
I don't know how gargoyles work.
they really just sit there.
Huh. It's doing it.
They don't.
It's doing,
It's doing the thing.
If they don't
Yeah.
come to life.
No.
What?
I want a vampire lore, but I have to wait for him to get back. I know what's happening, like Lisa, but I don't know if Tabitha would know. I think I know what's happening because there's gargoyles there.
Gargoyles.
There's a gargoyle.
Okay.
Oh.
Gargoyle.
Gargles.
Gargles. There's a gargle.
You're a gargle.
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 Garglers.
So this is always the
Garblins.
part in the stream that we love because this is just like,
The bullshit.
what's up, guys?
Everybody checks their phone.
Hey.
Yeah.
It
Let's
is
check my
phone.
Etsy recommendations.
I got one too.
What are
I
you
know.
saying? What do those words mean?
Etsy.
Etsy recommendations?
I know what an Etsy is.
So it sends
Are
you
an
shit,
Etsy?
and it goes, "Hey, we think you'd like this. Please spend money."
Yeah, we pay
Oh.
attention to the stuff you look at a bunch, so we're gonna send you a bunch of stuff we think you'd throw money at based on the stuff you've thrown money at in the past.
Yeah.
That's diabolical.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a shit ton of dice.
Actually, mine are all Mickey ears right now.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
They're
the
all
season.
just, yeah, they're all just cute aesthetic Mickey ears because I go to Disneyland all the time and
We're about to go, so I'm looking at a bunch.
collect ears.
What was said? What was done?
Nothing.
I want to do a vampire lore roll at this because the gargoyle.
Let me see. Yeah, int plus occult or vampire lore. Difficulty 9.
Clear thinker help?
Yeah. All right.
Was that 7?
No. Still 8. But yeah, no one has said anything?
No, I just asked if.
I mean, he asked me if I knew that guy, and I said
Melora.
not personally.
No. I was making fun of her for being British.
As apparently he likes to do. Going off curiously about Harry Potter.
You've heard of a sub bloodline of vampires known as gargoyles?
Yeah.
They may or may not have something to do with Tremere.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess at least I knows.
but like,
I need Tabitha to know.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's, you know, you've never encountered one. You don't know what they're particularly like. You just heard that yes, there are these that are gargoyles, and there's not a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're like
And people think it's a bit of an abomination?
no.
No?
There's not a lot of propaganda as far as that's concerned.
Gotcha.
They're super rare, so that's why there's not a lot of actual information about it. So you asked her if she knew him, or she knew her.
Yeah.
I said not personally.
Someone
Do
you know.
you have your eyeballs on, right?
Yeah. Now that I'm not bleeding out of my face anymore because I'm starting to flashlight my own face.
I'm
Oh, you said
shining
as
a
much,
light.
right? You're like, you said, yeah, they're bleeding out of your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm shining the light away from your eyes.
Yeah, well, this one came in and was like, hey, what are you guys doing?
Pretty much, yeah.
They're high beams.
Yeah.
Axel's bad at stealthing.
I'm not actually bleeding out of my eyes, Tony. It's just...
No, but you said it. Your character said it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I said I could be bleeding out of my eyes right now. Could you please turn that off?
All right.
I mean, I already had a long time ago. She was like screaming, yeah,
That's
okay.
fine.
Blood.
What are you doing?
You thinking?
I don't appreciate when he's thinking.
He's gonna do something to us now.
DM thoughts.
Because of my verbiage.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fine.
Rude.
It's never fun.
Right?
3 out of 4 centaurs agree.
Do you? Does Tabitha share this information, or are you all just considering the statue at the back of the container?
I was just looking at it.
Well, at the moment, I just looked through it and I went, oh, and I could turn back and be like, that thing's alive.
Oh, I assumed we were all just doing like the Ferris Bueller or kids standing in front of the art exhibition thing right now.
Yeah. Huh.
Cause that's what I said. I was all
But
like,
at the
is it gonna like do something?
I'm doing it at the front of the container, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
well,
not
the
like-
whole bleeding of the eyes things happened before we went in.
Yes.
What was out front of it? Yeah.
Yes, and then we go in, and then I'm like,
Oh, you guys step in.
I did.
and then I...
With the flashlight.
Yeah.
You stepped in with the flashlight, and you could see to the back with the flashlight.
Yeah.
With the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Then I
Yeah.
showed.
And then
Melora.
I look in, Melora, and then I look in.
Do any of you go farther than the threshold of the container?
I do not.
I
do
do
you
not.
say that it's alive?
I don't, but I always say that.
The moment I get eyes on it, I go, that's alive.
What?
What was
I
that
put
on
my
Johnny?
gun at it. I'm like, should we kill it?
What was that on Johnny?
Did you go in?
I also did not go in.
Okay, thank you for confirming. As soon as you point the gun up at it, the shield moves in front of the nose,
Oh shit.
and it says "Wer ist Zielig?"
I'm a natural
You hear-
linguist.
You hear an echoey voice
Uh huh.
come from the back of the crate, and you hear the words "Wer ist Zielig?"
Is that English?
Hey, where is Zelig?
I go, oh,
Where is...
Zelig.
Are you saying this in character?
Yeah, Tabitha goes, where is
Zielig?
Zelik?
No, nein, Zielig.
Zelik.
And it says, "Low as a crossbow."
Yippee nine, Zelig.
What is your fucking name?
Axel.
Axel! Axel, lower your weapon, please.
I would like slowly lower it and I'm like,
To the floor.
yeah.
He
It's going slowly.
Crossbow. Like
Yeah.
fucking a million years
Yeah. I'm like,
She says, "Zielig, Z-A-L-I-G."
Zelik.
Yeah.
I am not familiar with Zelik.
she's like, or you hear again. You do not know Zeelig.
Ivy, please come back.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Step out a little bit.
Yeah.
but not far, and I'm
Yeah.
continuing to look at him.
Can I activate celerity?
Well, that's alive.
Yeah, spend a blood
Right.
point.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's no. Okay.
As you start Axel, as you start pumping blood into your extremities to be prepared for whatever, you hear, or all of you hear a slight sound of like gravel being scratched against, and you see the form sort of heave, and it goes, "Why are you using your powers?"
Oh, it doesn't like things. It's
Step
one of
back.
those.
Atlas is sort of like.
So I'm gonna try to use some of my. I used to help run a brothel.
And de-escalate.
Yes.
Actually, though, for DM question, how do you activate aspects, or is that automatically on?
I believe you can activate Eyes of the Beast for free,
Mm.
unlike the Snake Eyes. Check a book.
I'll-
It'll be the first dot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyways,
This
well,
is-
I'm gonna look this up while you guys are doing this.
Yeah, and and
I'm gonna put on my hostess act
uh-huh.
and say, most of us have never seen one of your kind before,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I am afraid my friend is a bit startled.
Go ahead and roll.
Charisma.
Yeah, charisma plus empathy. Or if you want to pick a different one, let me know.
Can I expression?
Sure.
Difficulty.
7. Things are a little tense.
Okay.
So you're like, do you know Gunther?
I know a Gunther.
Oh, you touched my tra-la-la.
Does Ivy exclaim this?
Yeah. Gunther.
It's disregarding it. Who's Gunther? Which one's Gunther?
She's just saying it.
Oh, you just.
I mean, I'm sure she knows someone named Gunther.
I mean,
She's seen a lot of fucking people in her life.
yeah, maybe. All right.
It's not a lie.
I mean, you did say a Gunther.
Yes.
Ding-dong.
Lord.
I'm still trying to get everyone to step back.
I stepped back.
Yeah.
Step back, but
Alright.
I'm not
Melora's been back.
taking my eyes off of him.
Yeah.
I have a knife out.
And she's doing the thing where she has one arm out and she's sort of like,
You and Chris Pratt for
Not-
actors.
yeah, I am totally like one hand out, but it's not like at him. It's sort of this way, and she's just sort of like submissive her head a little bit.
Yeah. There's you see
Not crouching, but just sort of.
you see 3 measured steps
Uh-huh.
of the stone.
Yeah.
Does it look heavy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is that, although the sound of the steps themselves are distressingly lighter than you would think. And you notice that
I'm sorry, what was the Zig
Zeelig.
Zelig and Gunther?
You notice that it holds up the mace, and as it does, it sort of shifts from stone to actual wood, hardened, black, gnarled grain, and it's sort of. You also see the hand holding it looks like sort of like poxed and worn and but actual flesh, and it sort of fades up to the elbow where it becomes stone again, and
Oh, this thing's fucking rad.
they hold up they hold up the mace, but they hold it over the box at the back, almost like they're gonna start thumping on it, not in a threatening manner.
Yes.
Like, they're
And
gonna
it's
let
an
somebody know.
alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
You're gonna wake somebody up.
And so it goes, I am Sentinel Olinda, protector of property. Sent by Gunther, he whose battle. Do you not know of these people or of Zeelig?
your words wisely.
Meanwhile, Axel's just nodding like, yes, you know them. She's just nodding.
We were not sent by these people. We are just checking the dock.
There have been no disturbances in the last. I don't know why she's Nordic. That's not where.
Fine.
Do you hear any disturbances there?
Did you? Ivy? Is that Ivy?
No.
Okay.
It looks like as if it is a Mars. Tabitha turns off her track and she goes, "Oh my God!"
Starts running away.
Yeah. So she's like, there has been no disturbances in the docks for the last 2 days.
We have heard tales of a disturbance that will come. Do you know of it?
You've never seen a rock think until this day.
I can
And it's
ever die for real now.
and she goes, not ones that we intend to make, no.
Cool.
We are expecting a natural disaster. Will you be safe? Yes.
You see the hand lowered just a bit, and the shield, the shield shoulder sort of droops, like there's less
Tension?
danger right
Yeah.
then, and she says, what type of natural disaster?
From the earth.
You see the elbow sort of touch the crate,
I take a step back.
sort of.
So
Thanks, Rabbit.
busy.
Yeah.
I like it.
And you notice the stone orbs sort of droop, but sort of in that way that if someone were monologuing, they'd be talking to something behind and beyond them.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, that is unfortunate, but it may be okay.
So, you guys are just like passing through or what?
Zelig said not to share.
Oh.
Where is Ziegling now?
Zelig said not to share. Like now there's a much different body posture.
Yeah, like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Tabitha does not uncock her gun, but she does put it back into its holster or back. And she shows that her palms are open.
she's like,
So does Ivy. But there is a knife in one of them.
yeah.
The knife can't hurt the gargoyle, so. Well, not really. At
It
least.
can try.
Yeah, it can try. Yeah, scratch it.
So she's like, there's a slight bristle as she sort of regains some composure. She's like, I have told you I am Olinda. Who are you?
Ivy.
I am known as Tabitha.
Axel.
I'm looking at my last name. Hold on. I'm Johnny Patel.
You had to look up a towel?
Like, which generic name did I pick?
Nice. And she sort of slowly nods and she goes, and would any of you choose to put others in bondage?
That's not my job anymore.
There's a head cock.
She does smirk.
It's like a sex thing.
And she goes, oh yeah. Against their will.
Never.
She
I'm gonna take another step back.
she lowers the shield and takes a few more measured steps forward and rests the
Equal amount of steps back.
the mace on the front container, which she seems a little more comfortable with, and sort of just keeps the shield at the side, and she's like, are you agents of the Prince of this land sent to investigate?
Not as of such. No one has sent us here to investigate. We just heard there was something happening. And of our own will have come.
To investigate.
Yes.
Paco comes bolting in and hops up on Axel's shoulders and is like,
What does this translate to? Because we do have a bit of a communication.
there's something bad. Something bad's coming bad. It's bad. It's all bad. No, it's no good.
What was the name that she mentioned earlier?
Zelig?
Zelig.
Gunther.
Gunther?
What was her name again? I apologize.
Olinda.
Olinda.
I look at her and I was like, there might be a Zelig or Gunther coming. Either that or like some other thing happening outside.
You say this?
Yeah.
As soon as you mention that,
Uh-huh.
she comes striding out of the box.
Mm.
Yeah, drops to a knee and like presses her hand on the ground and like almost like arrow fire shield
Mhm.
as she touches the ground, and then looks up and she's like, "The slavers are here," and she like goes back in and grabs the mace and like puts herself against the walls of
The what are your
Slavers.
Slavers.
those which would seek to
Pallet.
put us back.
It's a paladin vampire.
And she sort of like settles in front of the box, sort of readies herself. She's like, "If you do not wish to be part of the melee, you should leave."
Oh, it's a melee. I like that.
It
Do
is
these-
when it's me.
Are these Gunter and Zelig you speak of?
No, they are good men.
And these people coming
They
mean you
are
harm?
not.
Were you on their boat?
I was about to say there's like a meow from Paco as like
Yeah.
affirmation.
Yeah, 9.
Huh.
Tabitha kind of sighs and looks at everybody else as she's drawing her gun out.
Is this something we do? Is this an everyone?
You can leave, but if they're coming in the way we came in, there's no other way out.
Axel's like,
are you guys trying to be sneaky at all, or just having this conversation? Or?
Well, no.
no. I mean like whispered tones.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
Tabitha is trying to like put her back against something. Like,
So once she seems scared of something, I will just unseen presence. And like,
And shift off.
yeah,
Cool.
shift off to the side, hoping
Oh,
that someone
so my gun
makes light.
has left.
good job.
So Axel then raises her gun, and then she's
He's keeping an eye out. You hear just a little left over.
So
We're gonna try and scoot to the back of
can
the
I
party.
check for
Yeah,
noises?
it was like,
Yeah, perception plus alertness.
Thank you.
I think I sent it via Slack, so I should get it there. So I can look at the things.
what's the
6.
Tabitha got one?
4 specialty noises.
Oh yes, applies.
What kind of noises do I hear?
There are 3 slippered footsteps, separate sources, heading towards this side of the area.
Slippered?
Yes.
Like they're wearing slippers.
Like
Fancy old time slippers, like French
no,
nobility.
Ninja slippers.
like when the nice cable company comes over and puts the little booties over their
Okay.
shoes. Yes, nice slippered.
I relay this information to Tabitha. There are 3 people.
Oh,
That there are 3 people.
I thought you were talking about slippers. I was like,
Like they
I'm
got-
trying-
Yes, they're
I'm trying-
wearing slippers.
I'm trying so hard to figure out like what does slippers mean.
They got the shoes.
They got shoes.
Shoes.
They got shoes.
The sleepover juice.
Yeah. Anyways, that there are 3 of
I
them.
can't look at you.
I don't know. Why not? What is the problem here?
That's so normal.
Just
this
a
thing that's
magical
occurring.
unicorn.
It's so normal, this thing
You
that's
look
occurring right now.
like the Yakuza from like anime.
Oh yeah, yeah, with like
Red
the
hair
20-foot long
Yeah.
tentacle
I
that
don't like
sticks
it.
straight out.
Yeah, that's what.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
hate it.
I mean, it's kind of the vibe you're rocking.
So
Kill
I'm
Bill
making sure it
Claxon.
comes
Do you
to
remember
remember?
the scene from Elf Princess Rain I showed you with the guy in the hair?
And the thing.
Oh,
Right.
I'll show you again later.
Okay. Anyways, what are you looking up, sir?
What
Sir
I'm,
that I don't trust?
what I'm doing.
Slipper.
Sir that I don't trust?
Tabitha looks back at Olinda and says, "For this moment, we are allies."
And she goes, "If you would stand with me, we would be family."
Oh, she's cute.
She pulls out the second gun.
And so from that, she goes, "That is my brother in that box. He is not set to fight." And she like sort of repositions to take ownership of more of the space.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Yeah. You hear rustling noises coming from. Actually, you know what? Roll initiative.
How?
How?
How
Tell
do
me.
you roll initiative?
How?
It's a D10
Take one d10
plus.
roll it, and then add either your dex or your wits rating,
Whichever is higher.
whichever is highest, and then tell me the number.
I was like, no, I remembered this.
All right, so higher than 15,
No one.
higher than 10. Axel,
14.
Melora,
12.
what's your relevant stat?
Oh, I used dexterity.
How many dots?
No, I used wits, because I have 4 in wits.
All right. What was yours then, Johnny?
Wits.
11.
4 wits, yeah.
As opposed to twitwits.
Fourth wit.
Or a half wit.
Axe, right, there we go. What'd you get? 4? What'd you get?
9.
Alright. Okay. Alright, so let me go ahead and start from there. You all hear a rustling of footsteps from around that same path that you guys came through.
Mm-hmm.
The work light above you flickers into life.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And from next to where Anjani's standing, one of the walls of the box container, withers away like paper decomposing. And this robed figure has his hand up as if it was touching that same section of wall.
No offense, but I hate Tremere.
Alright.
And then
People think my people are weird.
a serpent of fire comes ricocheting into the space, and let's see if it makes connection with anyone. Ivy, would you like to dodge this serpent of fire?
How could it see me? I'm invisible. Yes.
Well, it's
It's
sort of
magical.
banging around,
Alright.
so you will have a
I'll
lower.
dodge it.
Okay, so in order to dodge means that on your next action you're going to split your dice. Well, actually no, you're not going to split your dice pool this time. This is we'll skip that one because it's kind of a surprise round. So go ahead and make me a Dex plus dodge, difficulty 5.
Dodge.
Dip, duck, dive, and dive. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a fire snake.
Well, I'll use. How does the willpower work?
You can spend a willpower to give yourself an additional success.
I will do that. I have 1 success.
Oh, yes. All right. So yeah, you manage to pick up 1 foot as it sort of slams against the crate next to you, and you feel that fire, and you don't like it, but you're training, and the fact that nothing can see you, so this was a fluke, keeps you strong. So that was 1, 2, 3.
Have dodge.
Anjani, you're up.
Everything else is the same.
Did you hear about your new friend?
No.
That line is
Right behind you, even if you're invisible, right behind you, one of the walls of the box container fell away as if wet paper was ripped off of it, and there's a robed figure with his hand up right in front of your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the one that Lisa didn't like.
I don't think Lisa likes any of them, but okay. What do you want to do?
Shoot at it.
Cool. Roll Dex plus Firearm. Difficulty 6. Tabitha, you're on deck.
Yep. I'm gonna change that to dodge just for fun.
3 successes. And you're invisible, right? Or no?
No?
You're right there. Okay, cool. Then he is going to split. And cool. 3 successes. Roll damage.
Hooray. How do we do that?
So you roll the damage value of your gun plus 3, because that's how many successes you got on top of the damage type. And then it's all difficulty 6. You can't botch, but ones do count against your total. Let me double check that real quick.
This will be the part where I realize I never wrote down my gun stats.
What do you have? What kind of gun you got?
I have an MP5.
Like a pistol,
Yeah.
light or heavy?
Right.
Alright, so mother of pearl. I just pulled this up for Jess.
Tell me what page when you find it, because I have the PDF open.
Hype.
Going through.
Damage dice pools can never be reduced to lower than 1 die. Any attack that strikes yeah, damage effects rolls cannot botch. A botch roll simply means the attack glances harmlessly off the target. So yeah, so you still count ones against your total, but you can't botch it. All right, so gun. Oh, that's close. Melee armor.
Ranged weapon, a
4, 6. What type of gun is it?
a light revolver, so
Yeah. So
damage is
roll
4.
7 dice. Difficulty 6.
I have a dagger that says STR plus 1.
Yeah, because
Strength
melees
plus
are
1.
different. So when
Yeah.
you deal damage with a melee weapon, it's that rating plus your strength score. You roll that many dice. So that's the balance, is that you can pump more into your melee and you'll have a potential for more consistent damage. Whereas firearms, if you hit, you really hit, that sort of thing. How much?
4.
4 damage. All right. Normal ammo?
Yep.
Thank you. You see the round thump into him, and you hear it mutter, "Puta."
Oh, people.
These are Spanish slavers.
And then, all right,
I mean,
Tabitha.
they're Spaniards. Tabitha points both of her guns.
At the current visible target.
Yes.
All right,
Do I get to shoot both?
you can.
You said that with an upward inflection.
Yeah. So firing while it's jumping through the air while it's firing 2 guns.
I go,
Thank you. Let's see here. Blind fighting. You split your dice pool, but you get additional potential for damage. It's in here somewhere. Range combat, here we go. Aiming, automatic fire, strafing, reloading.
I'm just gonna shoot one.
2 weapons. Dex plus firearms.
Yeah.
Difficulty is +1, so
So my difficulty was 8, and since I'm firing 2 of them, it becomes a 9.
yes. Unless you're ambidextrous.
I'm not ambidextrous. I looked at it for a long time and didn't take it.
Alright.
Two.
But you get to roll again because you're shooting with both weapons.
Two again.
Alright, so that's 4 successes. Go ahead and roll damage times 2 plus 4.
Jeez. So roll 5 dice because damage is 5.
Oh, damage is 5 on the gun?
Yes.
No, you rolled 10 because you fired with 2 guns.
And there's a difficulty of 9 still?
No, 6. Now you're just doing damage.
So
Oh,
2,
he's not going to split.
3, 4, 5. Do 10 still explode?
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, you see the 2. Oh, you see the 2 ricochet into him. How much was that? 6?
10 damage?
10 damage?
Yes.
Nice.
Because it was 6 plus 4?
Yeah, he crumbles.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you add the successes after you roll? Like your original, since I had 3 successes to hit, do you add that to the damage after you roll the dice?
No, you add that many dice to your total roll.
Okay,
For
that's
damage.
what I did.
Which is why I said, yeah.
By her +4.
Yeah. Well, she fired with 2 guns,
Right.
Yeah.
so that's why she did double damage, because 2 successes plus damage for 1 gun, plus 2 successes plus damage for another gun. So it should have been 14 dice total, which is probably how she came up with 10.
Mine was correct.
Alright. Yes, as well. Ivy.
Yep. How far away is this person from me?
It is now on the ground a few yards away.
The snake or the Tremere?
The snake appears to be fizzling out under your foot. The Tremere is in a container behind Ajani.
A couple yards away.
Yeah. You can move and stab if you want.
I'm gonna look behind me. Just to see and make sure that there's no one there when I move forward.
Not that you can see.
Oh, my bullets were silver just to,
Okay.
Okay. And so I'm obfuscated if I move to attack, that will break obfuscation. Correct? I believe. That's the
Not
case.
until you attack.
Not until I attack.
You can get right up on it.
There's no hold action.
Nope. Oh, well, yeah, if you want. You want to be put out of the order? You want to slide up next to that entryway and prep a sneak attack?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, alright.
I heard that there's 3 coming, right? That was said out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So wouldn't that mean there's 2 more besides this guy then?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would like to
Ropes
stay hidden
Okay.
and do that.
Alright. So you slide up against that corner, which makes an excellent ambush point.
Yep.
And you hold your action. Axel,
Mm-hmm.
you're up.
They seem to have this one handled. There's a billion people.
What can I see in front of me right now?
Right now, there is a fire snake in a corner, sort of fizzling out up against the edge of a container.
Mm-hmm.
Tabitha has fired 2 solid rounds into the same one that Anjani shot at near point blank, and it has crumpled to the ground inside the box container that had it.
But we can't see the other 2.
No, not yet.
Okay. Then I am going to.
You hear a as Paco spits at one of the entryways.
Like a different entryway?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he's not focused on what's going on in that container.
Is it dark in that entryway?
It's dimly lit. The light above you provides some illumination through that walkway.
Can I use Auspex to see what's down here? Or something about being able to collapse in the dark or attack in the dark?
Yes, if you can see, you can attack.
No, not ones I can see that can attack. Something else. Where is it?
Auspex?
Yeah. Blah blah blah. Where is Auspex?
Hold on. It's
Okay.
right here.
Circumstances for normal restore and reduce your decrease auspice. This power does not proceed with pitch black darkness, but does reduce difficulty penalties to act in pitch darkness from a +2 to +1. The character will make ranged attacks in pitch darkness if she can hear, smell, or otherwise detect her foe.
You're not in pitch blackness. It is into pitch blackness though, I guess, sure, that could be argued.
Well, I couldn't see, if I shoot blindly, I can't, into pitch blackness. And so, is there a way for me to see the direction of where to aim?
Yeah, if you want to move into one of the angles of
Uh-huh.
the path out of this central area,
Okay.
you can try and scope into the darker areas and see if you can find a target. Is that
Okay.
what you want to try?
Yes.
Alright.
What do I do?
So Axel slides into the pathway that Paco's hissing at,
Yes.
and go ahead and make me a perception plus alertness roll. Difficulty 7.
Plus noises.
Noises.
Alright,
Noises.
it'll count. You have one auto success.
What am I gonna say?
Do you want dice? Mine are good.
Sure.
Are they?
Yeah. For something.
What did you say?
Malora, you're on deck. Difficulty 7.
No. Just the one auto success. I'm not gonna get like dice. I'm
You,
gonna stick with my electronic dice.
between you and Paco, there's definitely something dead ahead.
Okay.
Do you move out of the light, or are you still in the dim looking into the dark?
I'm still in the dim looking into the dark to try and just use the Fiachi-Wa, which is a semi-automatic shotgun.
Oh, you're just gonna shoot into the darkness?
Yeah. If I have a generic idea of where it's coming from.
It's a shotgun.
Fuck yeah, go
It's
for it.
true. You only need to have a generic idea of a shotgun.
Yeah.
You should be near where I'm at.
I don't know.
Opposite
Well, that's true.
side.
You actually don't know where I'm at. Just kidding.
Just kidding. What do I roll for?
So roll me.
You want? I have the thing. It's damage, range, rate, clip, and
Just roll Dex plus firearms.
dex plus firearm.
Difficulty 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Firearms is 1, 2, 3. One success.
Alright, so roll damage plus the 1 die.
How do I roll damage again?
You roll, so what's the damage?
Damage 8.
So roll 8 plus 1 die.
8 plus.
So roll 9 die. Difficulty 6. Because it's 8 of the
D10?
damage plus, yes,
Okay.
plus
So-
1 success that you got
Two.
earlier.
So roll 9 dice.
Yes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Alright. And then what did you say?
Difficulty 6.
So many.
Okay. 1, 2 successes. 2 successes. 2 hits.
Yep.
2 hits.
Alright, do you have a special damage type of any sort?
No.
Alright, So it roars off into the darkness,
Uh-huh.
and you see a vague form
Uh-huh.
in the spray. So you know that you are firing in the right direction at the very least. Melora.
Okay. So the person that's crumpled, they're dead, right?
Down at the very least.
Are they worth wasting my time on, or is that just kind of gonna take care of itself?
Maybe they can teach you something if you ask them to.
I don't know.
I don't think he wants
You like to study, right?
I do, but I don't think he
You're
wants
you're pretty sure. Is it one over right over there?
Yep. Just giggling.
Amanda. You're
If you want to share that controversial information, she's allowed.
whatever. Okay, so you're usually, or you've seen some vampires meet final death. Usually they deteriorate.
Yeah.
They dust away. He's still a full form,
Okay.
but it seems like the two of them have it handled.
Yeah, so I feel
Just
like I
off the
don't
two?
want to step into that.
So yeah.
But I don't see who she shot at.
No, but you did see her at the corner shoot her shotgun into the distance of that corner, and you don't know where Ivy is, and
I don't really know how much I can do without being able to see that guy.
and Olinda just has sort of a neutral stance, sort of just has that open awareness of the space.
Can I ask her if she sees anything? I don't know if she has some sort of like extrasensory on that.
Who?
Olinda.
Oh, she looks and she sort of squints and holds up her head a bit, and she's like, one on each side.
And that's like as good as she can give me.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can do if I don't have a target.
You want to also hold your action?
Well, I mean, if I can't, like, I can light things on fire, but I can't do it if I can't see them.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I'm any use until I actually have something I can see to light on fire.
Yeah, hold action.
So, I guess I'll just hold action, and I guess if she gave me a vague idea of where they're coming from, I guess move so I'm not right as the first person they're gonna hit.
Yeah, if you put yourself basically facing her at the back of the little communal area, you will be the farthest away from those points you can
Yeah,
be.
I'll do that since, you know, caster, squishy.
Yeah. All right. Yay! Okay. So Olinda, do any of you speak German?
I'm a natural linguist.
No.
Which means you have how many languages? Or that you get
Which
advantage
means
on
I
something?
can understand just about anything that's spoken to me.
Okay.
I have 1 point in linguistics, so I'm gonna go with no.
You know, like 5 words, and they're all curse words.
I can like order at a Chinese restaurant.
Where is it? I have a flair for languages. I add 3 dice to any dice pool involving written or spoken languages.
She barks something in German, but it sounds like weird German.
It's old.
Like you may have heard Bert say something similar previously, and it like rattles the walls as she sort of barks it, but it doesn't seem to do anything really. It seems to bolster her a bit.
Yeah.
And then Axel, make me a perception plus alertness, difficulty 6.
No. I've been bad luck with dice today. Like real life dice. What did you say? 6?
Yeah.
1, 2 successes unless there's noises.
It is a noise, so 3.
3.
It is bolting right at you. Do you wish to dodge, or do you wish to let it make contact?
Dodge. I did turn on celerity earlier.
Oh, my bad.
What?
You get a
No.
at
Yeah?
the end of this round.
Oh, do I? I thought celerity just meant to move faster.
No, celerity gives you an additional round of combat at the end of the initiative order.
Okay.
So now that we've started a proper initiative
Yeah.
order, we'll do that. Okay.
So I can move out of the way?
So you will roll Dex plus Dodge to avoid being hit by this guy. Difficulty 6. But remember, this means you're splitting your dice pool. So on your actual turn, you will be using. Fuck. Okay. So either no, you can't dodge.
Sorry.
Either no, you can't dodge,
Or
or you have to
I mean,
dodge on your
cheaters,
celerity
actually.
turn. This will count as your celerity turn. Or you can split your dice in your celerity turn to dodge and then do something in your celerity turn.
no, I'm cool with just dodging right now. So I can dodge.
And then just burn the turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so full dice, Dex plus dodge.
What did you say? What was it again?
Difficulty 6.
1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Alright. You juke as he sort of slams into the wall next to you. Almost like he was just trying to make contact of some sort, not like he was trying to tackle you or stab you.
I
But
can't
you
tell
see,
if I hit him.
huh?
I can't tell if I hit him.
You're not sure yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you see these long, gross tan fingers with extra long fingernails that look gross and yellow and decayed.
Gross.
There's one, that's two. Let's see here.
And that's the opposite side of where I'm at.
Yes, the opposite
Okay.
side of where you're at. Oh wow, okay. You see the form on the ground inside the container flop over to try and grab the the end of the cable that's running to the light up top, and you see that part of the cable withers under its touch, and he begins to electrocute himself.
Wow.
And then basically, as the light flickers, he sparks and turns to dust.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job.
Meanwhile, a form comes around your corner
Yeah.
as you see an arm with a ball of fire that writhes held above it. You gonna make that attack?
I would like to
Alright.
make contact.
All right. Roll Dex plus melee, or Strength plus melee,
I think
whichever
it's
is better.
strength for me.
Yeah, go for it.
Melee's terrible. But whatever.
You also see this hand with the fire coming around the corner.
I have 2 successes.
Oh, as well as her do slam into the side of the thing.
Okay.
So once he's done resolving that, if you wish to jump back into initiative, we can do that.
2.
2 successes?
This does not count.
Cool. So roll damage. As he is not here, no, you're there.
How does this work?
So you
It's
roll-
a dagger.
So what's the damage on the dagger?
Oh shit, I should have rolled an extra die for strength plus 1. Right? That's-
No, it's actually
Oh.
your strength rating plus 1 is how much damage you do.
Oh,
Do you have potence?
no.
No.
What?
Okay.
Potence?
Potence is a discipline. Never mind.
No. So I do strength plus 1, which is 5.
Yeah. So
5.
I deal him 5 damage. Let's see here. You slash into that arm, into that good arm flesh.
Fire bad!
Yeah, no, fire very bad. And he. Oh, okay.
Someday someone will make a cool beans emoji, and it will be the best day of my life.
You see a nice little gout of blood. You connect.
Like,
Melora, it is now a target-rich environment.
Oh, goody.
It's your turn.
If I hit the one that's by Axel, do I get the feeling I'm potentially going to light up all the crates also?
No, because it's all metal and they're outside of the center
Okay.
box.
you can see me now too.
I
Yeah.
can see.
Ivy appears and has that one covered.
So that's what I figured. That's why I was asking if I would light up everything around it if I went for that one.
No,
Just me.
go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna light light up the one that went for Axel and missed.
Excellent. All right. So you spend the bullet point to activate your discipline. You spend the willpower point to enact your will on the power, and then,
Yes, please.
depending on how big that fire is the dots plus 3 is your difficulty. You roll manipulation plus occult, if I remember correctly.
What about, where does my thaumaturgy come into that?
That is how thaumaturgy works.
Because where do my points in thaumaturgy apply to that?
So, that's the lure of the flames. How many dots do you have?
In what part, sorry?
Down at the bottom in thaumaturgy.
Oh, my sheet, I have 3 dots in thaumaturgy.
Excellent. So you can make a campfire size ball of flame.
Okay.
It's important.
And then,
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
translated if I have issues with.
Difficulty 5.
oh, you can make it appear wherever you wish. So if you wish to make it happen on top of him,
I do.
you will make a oh, I guess they, okay, hold on. What's the rule?
Yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with.
I never fucked with it, so
Kill
not 100%
plus
sure.
sploosh.
Let me go with
Sploosh! Sploosh and sploosh. How many did we kill yet?
Wait, one killed himself, right?
Yeah, one very
oh, it's a
good
willpower roll, right? Against the difficulty of the powers level, right?
Squish and sploosh.
Alright, so whatever your full willpower score is, you roll that many dice.
So I roll for as many dots as I have in willpower?
Yes.
2, 4,
Yes.
6, 7, 8.
Excuse me. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab this. I'll go to the thing.
Alright.
And I have to I have to get 5? A success is 5?
No, it's 6.
6.
Yeah, because you're using 3 dots, and it's difficulty of the path. The difficulty is the rating of the ability plus 3. Your difficulty is 6.
Oh, well there's, so that's 2 successes there, 3 successes, 4 successes, then I got 2 10s.
Re-roll those and add them to the total.
And that's a 1, so
Sad.
that 10, I guess, didn't count. And that's a 4, so I guess I only have the 4 successes then.
4 successes.
Because the 10s blow out if you re-roll them, right? Okay, so I have 4
Oh no,
successes.
well you still count those towards the total, but
5.
Oh,
so 5.
well if I count in the 2 10s, then I have 6, because I had 4 successes and 2 10s.
But then you roll an additional 1, which neutralized that 10.
Oh, okay, so I have 5 successes
5.
then.
Cool. So yeah, so you light him up, and let's see here. That is fire. That is fantastic fire. 1, 2, 3, 5. Excellent. You see him start to get crispy, and you also hear the word "Soy fuego" being exclaimed from within the robes.
Sorry.
Now you
Dressed what?
It's
for every turn you maintain this, you can continue to apply damage. You can effectively make it a dot for that same amount of damage every turn.
the Dresden Files.
Okay, what do I have to do to that? Because that sounds choice.
The Dresden Files.
I'd be dressed.
Is it just that I choose to keep that going instead of like making a new attack, or?
I'm gonna say you basically just spend the blood and the willpower again
Mhm.
to just keep it moving.
Okay.
No need to make additional rolls.
Okay.
And then
It's
if,
like witch bolt.
or
Nice.
Once
or
it-
orb of flame,
Yeah.
a flame orb. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
So Melora's back in. You're back in. That was the Tremere. Anjani, you're up. There
So I've got a
are
phobia of fire.
nice. Roll me a courage roll.
Woohoo!
Difficulty 6.
Okay.
Because it's coming out of your friends.
But it's not like everything's on fire.
Well, she knows I do this. She's seen me do it before.
It's still weird.
That's why it's only
I
6.
guess.
I mean, I know birds exist, but it doesn't stop me from fucking freaked out by them.
I hate birds.
But this would, I guess this would be more like your friend is holding a bird, though. But
One success?
This has happened so many times in my life.
So you're probably going to want to focus on the guy
This is my
that
bird. I love
Ivy's working on.
Yep.
She's friendly.
You want to take a couple shots at that guy, or?
Chewing her hand.
Yes, I do.
All right, roll Dex plus
She
firearms.
shows me she loves me. She's pretty.
Difficulty 6.
This is a bird.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not a fan.
Tommy likes to torture me with chicken gravy.
I don't like when
3?
they fly out of like a bush near you. This does not please me.
No.
This is not a correct joy.
All right.
I like most animals.
Roll damage
I just
plus
don't
2.
like snakes and monkeys.
I would much prefer.
He sees you leveling your firearm at him and sort of ducks to not get popped in the face.
Snakes and monkeys.
Monkey, universally beloved animal.
No. Only for
Man hates
boys.
monkeys.
What? Weird. They're like little babies.
No.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
Big move.
I like babies.
He does love babies, so if you ever...
They're like small little monkeys.
They're gross. We're talking about monkeys now or babies?
Half
Oh,
and half.
yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I like it all.
What's that damage, Amanda?
Give me the tiny squiggly squirmy
You
things.
can have them.
8.
Nice.
I'll take the birds. You can have the
Nice.
squiggly things.
It's
So
just
she
weird.
didn't go running away from fire. Well done.
Oh, we're
Nice.
proud of you. Look at you grow.
Fire burn!
You're kind of doing a Ludo from Labyrinth thing with that.
Some monkeys are cute.
Wow, Frankenstein does that a lot.
I know it's Frankenstein.
So you
Those
also
guys
see
Cohen.
you see the one in front of you drop to the ground as she basically puts a bullet between his eyes. You see
Just you
blood
don't set them all on fire.
blast up the back.
I set one on
That
fire.
doesn't mean
Okay.
he's dead.
Does it get on me?
No, it
The blood?
goes,
Didn't
goes
want to
out.
startle the
Fast.
Fast.
ladies.
Make me a self-control check.
Because it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does.
What did you get?
You even get that
That's
all
crackage one.
fails.
Oh, honey. Mmm.
I'm gonna lick it.
Okay,
I would
now
like to lick
make,
his whole.
now make me a
Oh.
willpower roll.
Wait.
How
Like
does
this?
that work?
So, see that total score there?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just lick it?
Lick it.
I'm just gonna lick it.
Lick it.
Okay.
This is like a snack just appeared out of the ether.
Yeah,
okay.
lick it.
When we get to that, when we get to your turn, we'll keep that in mind. Tabitha.
What's still standing?
What?
Uh,
2 have dropped, haven't they?
It's a pincushion.
Why?
Because there's a hole in my sweater.
She's darning her sweater.
Oh.
Just one?
darn.
Yes.
No. There's one on each side. Melora
I've
now
only
has
dropped one,
a conflagration next to
and
you.
no one else has done anything?
I mean, something tried to attack me. I don't know where it went.
Oh, it's right next to you. Now it's on fire.
I'm having
Oh,
sex.
there's one next to me on fire, but it's not dead yet.
And
Okay.
there's
No,
also
I'm working on it. I'm barbecuing.
there's also one next to Ivy on the
And I shot
ground.
one or two.
Yeah. On Johnny, put a good one right between its eyes.
Okay, I'm gonna fire both of my pistols again.
At which?
I can't do 1 and 1 because.
Yeah, you can.
But I'm not ambidextrous.
Yeah, you just take the penalty. So we
Okay.
did the last one wrong too. We're gonna do this one more right.
Alright, do it more right.
So you're gonna roll twice.
Okay.
Once for each hand.
Yes.
The first one is going to be
Regular.
at -1 die at a difficulty 7.
So, Dex plus firearms, -1 die,
Mm-hmm.
difficulty 7.
Yeah.
2.
All right. And now for the other one. Dex plus firearms, -1 die at difficulty 8. Because you're splitting your dice pool, but shooting with the other one.
3.
All right. So roll damage for both of those.
Okay.
So the damage on the gun is what, 5?
8, damage is 5.
Andy too.
So roll 7
Oh,
and then
yeah.
8. And tell me successes for
5,
both.
6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Was 6 and 7. So 13 total. I'm sorry.
6 and 7?
6 and 7.
Okay.
Six at the one on fire, 7 at the one that's not.
Alright, so
Preferably.
the one that's on fire. No. I'm sorry, Ivy. Before you can get there, you see another round get popped into that body, and it just crumples to dust underneath the.
But does any blood spray on me?
No.
I just imagine you trying to lick the air going
Yeah.
la la la.
No eating on the job, Ivy.
I didn't eat today.
And the one,
That's a lie.
the one on fire.
You said you ate some meth heads earlier.
No, he missed him.
Oh.
They're just slippery from the bad meth sweats.
I tell you. Were they walking sideways? That's how you know they're on meth.
Probably.
Oh god, that's a weird
Axel, make me
subject.
a little dodge, a dex plus dodge, real quick.
Axel?
Axel.
Axel.
Yeah.
Oh, she's getting to her dice out.
Yeah. Giving up on everything else.
Just don't trust physical dice anymore.
Not at the moment, no.
You want mine?
No.
Alright.
Apparently they're all dead to her.
Dex plus dodge.
Difficulty 5.
1, 2, 3.
You
Nothing.
easily-
All dice are dead to me right now. I have
What?
got
You
nothing.
just gotta go buy new dice, man.
Oh wait, no, I got 1 success. I lied.
So you manage to flail out of the way as the bullet slams into it, and it slams it into the corner that you were in. And you hear that noise of gravel that you heard earlier when you activated your celerity, and stupid fast celerity. Olinda moves around the corner and slams the mace into the body that's currently emoliating,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes board stiff, and she turn it. You all sort of like pause as this happens because that's the last one, and she turns her gaze over to you, Melora. She's like, "You are one of them."
Can I react?
Who?
Tremere.
I'm only learning.
Meanwhile, Axel's like there in the corner. She's like,
Do
And
you
it started
spend the
for
blood
you.
point and willpower to finish the job? Because he's still burning underneath under the mace.
To kill the guy that is under the mace? Yeah.
So as she's staring at you, you pulse the blood and power once more, and there's another flare up, and dust sort of wafts through her vision, and sort of goes past you and Paco, and you hear a little from Paco,
I say they're not one of mine.
and she stands up and like pulls at the mace like she's expecting resistance, but there is none. She's like, okay, and she comes stalking back over and sets the mace against the card table, and just sort of sits in one of the folding chairs.
Does it creak and break under it?
Surprisingly, no.
Well done.
And she goes, "Thank you."
Not the voice.
She says, Dankeschön.
Las
You-
Vegas guy sings that.
I would offer each of you a boon, either from myself. No, see, I can't. I lost it. It would be to run it. Yeah, whatever.
Skibbity-pop.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
As I fixed 2 holes, I went to flip the arm back and I found 2 more. I'm done. There you go. I got the big ones.
Where do you want
She says, as we are now family in battle, if that means anything to you,
Here's one more.
I would trust you to keep this information safe. Our destination is Seattle. Should you come to that court and ask of Olinda or Gunther, we will have a boon. We would grant you a boon. At the very least, our haven would be your haven while there.
When do you leave for Seattle? Will you be able to protect your brother tomorrow?
Yes. I will wake him this evening before sunrise so that he can control himself so that the quake does not happen.
Oh, he makes the quakes. Huh. That's weird. Is that weird?
It's not weird.
I'm talking
It's
to
America,
Melora.
everything's weird, yeah.
Melora!
You keep calling this Harry Potter. I don't even know who this Harry Potter is.
That's your
What
friend.
is Harry Potter?
He knows.
When this book's even written.
I hope they're on Amazon Audible.
What?
A what? A what? What did you
A
say?
what?
Alright, cool.
It's an app.
Tabitha gives them a low, courteous bow and says, "We would appreciate it. Thank you."
What makes those?
Well, she said.
She nods. Like she likes you. She likes your flavor now that she's seen your moves. She's kind of sweet on you just a little.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. She sort of there's a real awkward pause and she's like, "Any of you play Pinochle?"
I look at Tabitha
I look at Melora.
and Melora.
Oh wait, that's like a rich person thing, isn't it?
So
I probably do know how to play it because
Yeah,
of my
and-
stupid rich ass parents.
Yeah, and
I just stare at them like,
But yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Casually. Sure, Anjani knows.
do you know how to play Pinochle?
It's a card game.
You swindle people.
She knows all the card games.
Definitely
So
the hottest in demand of games to practice sleight of hand.
the faces of doubt Amanda's currently making are pretty slick. So you settle in for a game or two of Pinochle with Olinda, whose hands sort of shift back into the leathery sort of flesh tones while she's working, and actually when she sort of drops the stone shape, it's still there's not a lot different, but definitely less gravelly noises, that sort of thing. And you see the shield when she sets it down is a proper proper kite shield of steel. It seems that she transfers the properties from her body to whatever she's holding when she does that. She even does a quick little trick where she turns a few cards to stone and then puts them back and that sort of thing.
Weird.
And yeah, so you guys play a couple rounds of Pinochle, and like it's getting late in the night. It's getting close to daylight.
Well, it's getting bright out, and
She's
it's
like-
been
she's-
lovely.
She's like, yeah, To be honest, I would not wish you to stay the day here. If we're all being honest with each other.
I agree.
She emphatically says goodnight, and as you guys make your way out of the warehouse, out front, you see a pile of clothing with a bunch of dust around it, crumpled.
I'd like to see if there's anything cool in the clothing.
Yeah.
Clothing we recognize?
No, but it
Okay.
does look like modern dress, like a pair of jeans and a nondescript sweater.
We'll look for a wallet
Yeah, you
and
find
money.
one. You do. You find a
Great.
passport and a wallet.
Hey, you want to tell us what the passport says?
Do I
Like,
feel
do you
it's-
find the passport in the wallet? You just take the cash and drop the wallet?
Do I feel like it's important?
I don't know. You like to know things. You're a PI.
That's true.
I mean, I'll read the names, but
Oh,
do
there's also a small Glock
Oh, I'll take that.
with a half a clip.
Yeah, cool. I'll take the gun and the money, and I'll read the names, and then I'll just say them out loud.
There's about $300 in USD, and there's a couple hundred francs.
I don't know what these are.
That's German money.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, no,
I
they'd
was
be
like,
they'd be
no,
they'd be
franc
euros
is in
now.
German. Yeah,
Yeah.
franc is, yeah,
Yeah.
franc is French.
Are these?
There's
are these?
there's several tens of euros.
Okay.
I'll just turn to Tabitha, and I'm like, are these more than this?
No.
Okay.
They're
What's
about the
Take
same.
both
You
of
can
these.
take them to a bank and have it changed out.
Yeah.
What's the name say?
Euro.
no, on the passport, dear.
Oh. I'll read the name out.
What's the name say?
Zelig Fenric.
Oh.
He's a Weasley dude with big round wire glasses, and it says Zurich, Germany as his home address.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, I think the guy that was trying to move him is dead now. I'm a private eye. Here you go. I'll give you the passport.
Yeah, I'll take the passport. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't think we can do it now.
You guys need to get to
I'm
ground.
like already
Yeah.
Okay.
have like the year lift is like 5 minutes away
I
thing
mean-
on my phone.
I forgot.
It's
Okay.
like my car is actually just here, but okay.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
She like hops on the motorcycle and is like, all right then.
And you throttle off into Carl.
It's like George will be arriving in 3 minutes.
George doesn't know he's arriving at a crime scene.
And he never will.
With a pit bull blasting.
Can you do 2 disciplines at once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tony
then
hates
I'll just
people.
obfuscate
Oh,
Centaur
wonderful.
on my way out.
Wonderful.
Oh, you
Okay.
specifically chose Pitbull?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't bug your significant other, then who can you bug?
Sufficient other.
Everyone.
Thank you.
So,
I don't see why you
I'm more
narrow
than
myself in.
But that's up to you guys.
that's adequate.
So,
That
if you want any follow-up info or anything on that, hit me up later. But for now, since you guys don't get too OP, should we play this again in another year and a half? 5 XP. And thank you for joining me on this additional journey through the city by night.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm excited.
Say goodnight, Internet.
Good night, Internet.